An oldie but goodie. An oldie but goodie. I am very excited to have that song back in the mix a little bit today. Thank you for the follow, Sparky Pilot. And welcome, everybody, to a Tuesday stream. Welcome, Argonauts. It is June 11th. We are heading on to mid-June, which is kind of staggering. But we are here, and we are ready to play some D&D with viewers. Big day of streaming today, as I'll talk about in just a second on the schedule. So if you're interested in playing, and I noticed a couple of people talking in chat about how they might be, then stick around. You are going to get your chance in just a moment. Before we do, a couple of reminders about ways to support us on the channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with exclamation point ArvTube. And if you're watching me over on the YouTube channel, welcome, and please consider subscribing. And please join us over on our Twitch channel as well if you want to be a part of the mix. And thank you. Please also spread the word about that channel with the shorts that we've been posting and a whole bunch of other things there. And on my channel with Zach Clay, Gen GMs, where we talk about DMing and D&D and stuff like that. So please join us for all those things. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to follow us, or subscribe, I should say. Join us on the Discord, exclamation point ArvCorb. You can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. Twitter is exclamation point ArvTweets. Blue Sky, exclamation point ArvSky. Yeah, long. Website, arvanelleron.com. Financially, exclamation point ArvShop. That is the merchandise area where you can get all kinds of stuff relating to the channel and our various campaigns. Exclamation point ArvTreon is the Patreon where you can get inspirations to help our players. You can also move us towards various channel goals. You can get cool stuff for us individual as well. D&D is so great. On player in one group will be DM for the first time in a couple of weeks. Oh, awesome, Sparky Pilot. Well, you've come to the right place if you like this game. It is my favorite game. We do a lot of it on this channel, and you're about to see more example of it here, so welcome. Let me see. So exclamation point ArvTweets, exclamation point ArvSky. Website is arvanelleron.com. Financially, I said that already. I said the thing, the Patreon. Yes, sorry, I got thrown off. I was excited to see a new D&D person. The shop, the Patreon, and subbing to the channel is really helpful as well. You can get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch, plus inspirations to help our players if you support at a high enough level. And on the publishing side, exclamation point Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation point Library is my 5e adventure and sourcebook, my best-selling, I should say, 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And exclamation point Greyshade is my Greyshade IP. First two books in the Grey Assassin trilogy, Greyshade and Renegade, award-winning and critically acclaimed, are already out. You can get those at that link. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade done by our very own Trent Sparks. That is available at that link as well. You can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade, being designed by Brandon O'Brien and coming out from the fine people at Alligator Alley Entertainment. That'll be out at the end of the year, so you can pre-order that now. And you can pre-order the final book in the Grey Assassin trilogy, Heretic, which will be out next month. We're going to have a special reading that'll be happening at Black Rock Books in person next month on July 28th. So I hope people are able to make it to that if you happen to be in the southern New England area. And we have a very special release event, cover release event, 1 week from today. 1 week from today, we are going to have an Athos Arts, which is the publisher of Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic. They will be doing a special cover release on this channel, cover reveal, I should say, on this channel, which will reveal the Heretic cover, and it will also reveal several other books coming from Athos Arts, including the Gen Con Symposium, Writer's Symposium anthology cover that's called Interdimensions, and numerous other things. So you're definitely going to want to join us for all of that. It's going to be awesome. And again, that is going to be 1 week from today at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. That is going to be a good time. Let's see. So exclamation point Greyshade for all of those details. Finally, as far as the Grey Assassin trilogy is concerned, finally, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in this situation in the future. A couple of quick notes about schedule. Today we've got D&D with viewers, as previously mentioned. Then starting next at 4 4:15 p.m. Eastern over on GOGCOM's Twitch channel. It is the premiere of By the Dice Roll, which is our new tabletop, actual play tabletop role-playing group, although it is incorporating members with whom you are familiar, as we play D&D Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So if you like this and you want to watch more cool stuff like this, you can join us for By the Dice Roll over on GOGCOM's Twitch channel at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And then tonight we will be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern with the awesome, amazing Our Vocalists. My voice actors will be back, continuing with the Banner Saga 3. So it's going to be a big stream date today, and I am excited for all of it. All right, with that said, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to turn on that, and I'm going to wave hello to all of you. I am wearing my Swords shirt today. I've got short sword, elven sword, you killed my father, prepare to die sword. We've got the broadsword, the long sword, the barbarian sword, the magical sword, the laser space sword, the hooked space sword, the power sword, and of course, the buster sword, which pretty much incorporates the swords that you need. I would say that's pretty much what's there. All right, so now you may be asking yourself, how do I do this D&D with viewers thing? Oh, sorry, one other thing I want to note. So I have everyone all over the house at the moment, by which I mean specifically that I have a number of people that are putting in the final bits of doing window work and putting in heating and air conditioning. One of the benefits of which will be that when it gets really hot here in the summer, which will be coming in a couple of weeks, so technically it's already in the summer, but, well, the summer starts June 21st, but everybody basically thinks of this time as the summer, but it has not been super hot yet. That is going to be coming, though. And I am in the third floor of this house, and even though I love this office, and it's the best office I've ever had, it means that it can get quite heated in the summer, and that's going to be an issue, obviously, going on down the line. So this air conditioning stuff that we're doing is going to air condition the other rooms in the house that haven't been yet, and it's going to take a little pressure off of the one that currently powers this, which means in the end, we're going to have a much more energy efficient house, and this room will be nice and comfortable all the way through. So that's good news. The bad news is that there's work that has to be done. So we've got work going on inside and outside the house. So that means that there's going to be a moment where yeah, I know, right? Seriously, Echo? I sometimes worried about that. So that means that I may be called away at any point to deal with stuff. I will try to minimize that. It'll only be for a couple of minutes if it happens, and hopefully it won't happen. But I hope you'll understand that, IRL concerns like, is the house comfy for everybody, is kind of important. So I do have to deal with that. Hopefully that won't be an issue, though. Now, let's talk a little bit about D&D with viewers. So I noticed that we have already posted that already. For those of you who have not done this before, it's very simple. We ask people who are interested in playing with us to please throw your hats in the ring. Now, a couple of notes about this. Today is a hard cap of 4 players. I cannot do more than 4 players. The second thing is that we have pre-generated first-level characters, and in fact, specific first-level pre-generated characters that I have for this adventure. What do you need? Well, you need a couple things. Number one, you have to have a microphone. That is a requirement. If you don't have a mic, you're welcome to watch and chat all you want in chat, but you can't play, unfortunately. We need to be able to hear you. A webcam is strongly preferred. It's not required, but it's strongly preferred because we really want to be able to see everyone's reactions. Don't worry, everyone's going to love you. It's amazing. I've had many, many, many people do this over the years, so there's no problem in doing that. Trust me. But I understand if there is reasons that you can't do it, but I am going to privilege those who are able to do the webcam over those who can't if there's a tie between people who all want to play. So that's the second thing. Third thing is you need to be able to commit at least 2.5 hours to this. We're going to be starting at 12:30. We're going to be running until 3 p.m. Eastern. I am going to try to hard stop right around between 3 and 3:15 p.m. Eastern because I have to get ready for my next stream coming up on GOGCOM's Twitch channel. So it's not going to go any longer than that, but I do need you to commit to that. So if you're going to play with us today, you can't bail out in 45 minutes. We need you here for the whole time. So you need to be able to commit to that. And then the last thing is we would like you to have some basic knowledge of D&D, but again, very basic. That's the one that I can work around the best. If you understand when I say roll a D20, it means roll a 20-sided die, and you'll be able to do that in the little Roll20 link that I will have for you folks. We don't have maps that we're working with today. This is all theater of the mind, so it's going to be cool. So See, right, Echo? This is what I'm doing. This is my first, I think this might be my first during the day D&D with viewers, like I believe, because I've always done them in the evening. So now I'm getting a chance to do that. So some basic knowledge would be good. And then the last bit of information is you need to be a team player, which means you need to understand that everyone needs to get a chance to play. That means when you come on, please try to read the room. Please do not monologue repeatedly without stopping. Please make sure that everyone gets a chance to play and connect. I will try to enforce that as well, but just be aware of that, as we're kind of going through this. So with all of that said, who is in for this D&D with viewers? Now, I have a suspicion I know one or two of them already because they've been speaking about it in chat. Nonetheless, please raise hands or something similar. Okay, Echo Alpha. I remember Echo Alpha saying that there might be some interest in this. Echo has done a little bit of D&D, just a bit before. Very cool. Sparkly is going to be watching. Effect Life is in. A second person. Yes. A second person that we knew was going to play. I'm happy to have Effect Life and Echo in. Okay. So that's 2 people. I need 2 more. I have Effect Life and I have Echo Alpha X5. I need 2 more players. As soon as I get those other 2 players, I will send you all a Roll20 link. I will send you all a Zoom link, and then we will get rolling. This should be pretty quick because I have everything pretty much set to go. So yes. Do I have I know, right? Effect Life could play Arvbot. I do not actually have a Warforged character, sadly, but that is a good thought, yes. But no, I do not have one of those. In fact, what I do have here is I have got here a Dwarf Fighter, a Halfling Rogue, an Elf Wizard, and a Human Cleric. So that's what we've got. Okay, so 2 characters are set. I need 2 more. 2 players are set, I should say. I need 2 more. I have Echo. I have Effect Life. I need 2 more players. Who would like to play with these fine individuals? Again, 2 players, and you will have an opportunity to play an adventure that I think is going to be fun. You are going to be a half-orc paladin. Sorry. Sorry, I can't do that. But these are characters that actually come with this particular adventure, which is very highly rated, by the way, and it's you'll see. So we've got 2. I need 2 more. 2 more. Going once, going twice. I need at least 3 people, by the way, to play. I can't have more than 4. So I need at least 1, but preferably 2. Who else have I got? Who among you would like to play and be part of the D&D with viewers experience? To join the panoply, the who's who, the Hall of Fame of community D&D viewers that has incorporated such high-level individuals as Echo Alpha X5, as Emily the Invincible, as Triffity Mats, as Drew the Damager, as Hillness, as previously described. We have had many, many people. Shadowed Mage has been a part of this in the past. I was looking for people who were here at the moment. Ballstag has played with us before. We have had... let me see. I'm trying to think of who else has played with this. I don't see anyone else here at the moment who has. Finally getting married after 12 years. So yes, this is the group. This is the elite community D&D, D&D with viewers that have moved on to other, high level things. So there's that. I appreciate that, Emily. So if needed, Emily will join us. Emily, of course, the wonderful editor at Athos Arts, and of course, highly gifted, not just editor, but writer, player, my goodness, programming coordinator at the symposium, numerous other things. So we've got that. Who else would like to join and be a part of this mix? Who else will join us? I have got 2 so far, possibly a third if needed. So I need 1, possibly 2 more people would be the preference. Who else would like to join us? Any players in Greece? Yes. Do we have any players in Greece whose names start with B and end with K? I wonder. I wonder if there are any such people who have some kind of vague side reference to Metal Gear. Just like some echoes of Metal Gear. Not Echo Alpha, but just a different kind of echo of Metal Gear. Do I have anyone who is interested? Any of you who are like, I wonder if I could. I am sadly otherwise occupied. That's fine. That's okay. It's no problem. Do we have anyone else? I could run with 3. but I would prefer to run with 4 if I could. Would prefer it, wouldn't require it, but I would prefer to run with 4 if we could. So, do we have, and I gave myself about 5 to 10 minutes for this selection process in terms of when we needed to get started. So that's one of the reasons I planned this out the way that I did. Do we have any others who might be interested in being a part of this mix? D&D with viewers. I don't want to say what it's about yet, except that I think you will like this adventure. It is an adventure that is actually an introductory level adventure, actually designed to kind of introduce people, though I have modified it slightly. So there's that. It is not Garlic Heist. Sadly, no. It is not Garlic Heist. Oh, the race class list. Yes. I have, and actually, Echo, these even have names associated with it. They do not have descriptions of what they are in terms of like personality or anything like that, but they do have names. So I have the dwarf fighter known as Shalefire Stoutheart. I have the halfling rogue known as Nura Eldenfield. I have the elf wizard known as Galantine Birkenbow. That's a good one. And I have the human cleric known as Evandun Hart. That's like heart. H-A-A-R-T, heart. Heart. Yeah. Well, let's make sure before we start choosing characters, let me make sure I get everybody else. I want to make sure that I have the party assembled. And then you folks can decide amongst yourselves what you folks would like. All right, who else have we got? I will start winding down the selection process, and we will go with 3 because I have enough. I'm hoping for 4, though. So if we can get 4, that's great. But if we have just 3, then I will be happy to do so with this level of experience. Okay, that sounds promising. I don't want to assume. I know that Emily has some experience on the healing front, playing a certain game that rhymes with flow or mlow, blurled of blorplaft. But I don't want to assume that that's what would be chosen. I mean, it may be something totally different. I just am aware of that previous experience, healing experience. Hey, what's up, Dragonspawn? Oh, 2 things. Dragonspawn, hello. First of all, Dragonspawn, I sent you a message regarding, did you get my message in that I sent you Twitch PM? That was about the Rambo Academy for Wayward Writers class that you got, because I sent that to you via Twitch PM, and I just want to make sure because that has your code so you can get your one thing. Okay. Yep. So I am finishing up with fulfillment. I've sent all the physical stuff off now, including, by the way, Echo, there is a package heading your way, which I mailed yesterday. They said it could take as long as 2 weeks though, but it is on its way to you. I sent off all the physical stuff except for the Tales from the Loop book to Tim Coolish, which I'm going to try to send off either tomorrow or Thursday. So, all right. Now the second question is, okay, sounds good. We may indeed need you, Emily, as it turns out, but we'll see. Dragonspawn. Oh, you'd love to play. You got to run some errands. Okay. I was gonna say otherwise you'd be welcome to join us. All right, I'm gonna make my last appeal. And then we're gonna get started. We're gonna get rolling. Which is asked last night. Okay. All right, that's cool. Listen, I totally get it. I totally understand. But if you would like to join, what's up, Ballsteg? Hey, speaking of people who have played D&D with viewers before, you know what, Ballsteg? I mean, listen, now everyone's busy. Of course, Ballsteg, of course, one half of the incredible Athos Arts, who is super go nuts busy guy all the time. I was afraid. Yeah. I was afraid of that because I can confirm, having seen Ballsteg at work, that Gen Con stuff is super busy. I don't know. Maybe you could think of this as being related to Gen Con work, right? Because it's all like, it's all advertising, you know. You could just be like, this critical hit brought to you by the Gen Con Writers Symposium. You know, this successful Shield Bash brought to you by GCWS 2024. Register now. You know. Hey, what's up, Silvera Draconis? Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to put the last call out now. We have things for D&D. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's good. I just wanted to make sure, Dragonspawn. Welcome, everybody. So we are playing D&D with viewers. Can I be a dwarf on a quest to create 60 Google Drive folders? So, okay, if folks would like to play D&D with viewers, again, as a reminder, here's what you would need to play with us. First of all, you need to have a microphone. We need to be able to hear you. Second of all, it's strongly preferred, although not required, but it's preferred that you have a webcam if possible. Third of all, you need to be able to commit to about 2 hours, because this is going to be wrapping up in about 2 hours, give or take like 15 minutes. Might be 2 hours and 15 minutes. So you can't leave in like a half hour. We need you to commit for that next 2 hour and 15 minute span. Third of all, or fourth of all, whatever I'm up to, it would be nice if you have a very basic knowledge of D&D, but that's very basic. And the last thing is, you need to be a team player, which means you need to be a relatively rational person who will be friendly, who will not dominate, or, you know, who will basically let everyone get a chance at fun, including yourself. So making sure that you're letting everyone sort of balance themselves. You do? That all sound okay? All right, well, then we have a new recruit then, Silvera Draconis. That's great. Okay, so then what we've got Silvera Draconis, we have got Echo Alpha X5, we've got Effect Life, and we have, if you would be so kind, Ballsteg, as to summon Emily the Invincible back. I know that she's making soup, but if you could summon her back, then that would be great. Okay, I'm going to Twitch message everybody. Hello. And here's Classicor. All right, now I can't do 5. I'm just going to give one more sort of shout out, because I know that Classicor had also mentioned maybe being interested, but I don't know if this counts. So I'm going to give you one last chance, because I know Classicor had mentioned before you might be interested. Oh, you're on the bus. Okay, well, never mind then. Okay, it's going to be level 1, but I have pre-gen characters for everybody, Silvera, for this adventure. As I said, this is going to be fun, but it's a very introductory adventure. It's designed to be very, like, this is the first time we're doing D&D with viewers during the day, so it's designed to be kind of a cool sort of setup for that. Yeah, level 1. So again, most of the D&D stuff we play is considerably more complex, but yeah, and I do love Warforged, and in many cases I would allow something like that. This one, though, I want us to stick with the pre-gens that they have, but I happen to love Warforged, and if you ever watch my Eberron campaign, which runs twice a month on this channel, we have a Starforged, which is even kind of a modification of Warforged. Love me some Warforged. Okay, Zoom. All right. Okay, so Emily is in, and thank you, Emily, for being willing to volunteer and sacrifice your soup to the cause. I'm going to come up and send a message to everybody. Hold on a second whilst I get my Zoom ready here. There we go. All right, I'm going to send a Zoom link to everybody via Twitch private message. So let me see. Can I do this via Chatty? No. Okay, so that's fine. So I'll do it online. We're doing it live. Okay, I'm going to do it online. Get rid of that, though. It's going to be this. I'm going to be sending you a link to Zoom. It'll be Roll20. No maps on this one, though. This is basically just theater of the mind. We'll have some. We will have some music, and we'll have the dice roller. But we will not have maps for this one. As I said, I wanted to do something particularly simple today. Where's my Twitch maps? Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm going to send, in no particular order, I'm going to send everyone this Zoom link. And make sure that I got, yeah, okay. Okay, I just sent one to Effect Life. Now I'm going to send one to Echo. Okay, now I'm sending one to Emily. And then I'm going to send one to Silvera Draconis. Okay, I have now sent everyone via Twitch a private message with Zoom. So please join me over here, and then I will get you all your Roll20 link. Copy link. Okay. Alrighty. All right, I see our first person joining us. All right, wait a second. Okay, I should have sound. Hold on, we're admitting everybody else. Okay, 2 people have joined. Okay, who can I hear so far? Can anyone hear me over on Zoom? Hello? Can I be?
Okay.
I
Can
already
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes. Hi, Effect Life. And let's see, Emily, can you hear me?
Yes.
Lovely. All right. And I see Silvera is coming in. So, all right, Silvera, new to the mix. Connecting. There it is. Hello. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right. Hi, Silvera. Welcome. All right. And we're waiting for Echo. Hey, what's up, Prince
That's
Justin? Okay. Let's see. Hold on a
All
second.
right, I'm just gonna mute the stream so I can actually hear you properly.
That sounds good. All right. Actually,
Otherwise, it'll echo like crazy.
yep, and especially since I'm about to bring in an echo. Okay, so
Right.
let me see. Oh, okay, there we go. Hold on. I see they're there. I put this back like this, and right. Okay. Nice, Classic Core. That's awesome. There we go. All right, that's Echo. I recognize that person. Hello, Echo.
All right, now where's the Roll20 link?
Okay, Roll20 link I'm going to put in right now into
All right.
your Zoom.
Oh. Do this.
Okay. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm going to capture your webcams, and then I'm going to get names, etc. I'm going to put in just a second. I'm going to link over the sheets that I have into.
Oh, it's Peril and Pinebrook. I think I've seen some of this.
Yes, I think it's very cool. It is very introductory. So I know that people here will mostly be beyond that experience level, but I think it's a good and a quick one, which is valuable. So, all right, I'm going to throw links to this. I'm going to put this in my public Dropbox folder. Okay, public.
I literally have dice at the ready at all times, and
Outstanding.
I find that hilarious.
That's good.
I find it hilarious.
That is excellent. All right, so now I'm going to put I'm going to put links to each of these. Nope, there you go. I'm going to put links to each of these 4 things, 4 characters in the mix. Okay, there's one. Second one is coming in just a second. I'm putting this in Zoom chat again.
Zoom.
Okay. And then I'm going to do, that's the second one is up there. Third one is coming now. Don't adjust your computers, everyone, when you hear that do. That's me. That's not your computer. Okay. And last but not least. Okay, there are the 4. So whilst you folks are deciding who would like to do what, I am going to capture webcams.
I don't know if there's a warlock or
Elf.
not.
See.
Is there a warlock in there? I can't even tell.
There's not a warlock. We have in there the classics. We have a human cleric, we have a dwarf fighter, we have an elf wizard, and we have
sorry, taken. Okay.
we have a halfling rogue. That's what we got. And I think
I'll take the dwarven fighter.
Okay, I think so. The question is Emily, are you cool then with the cleric? Because I think everyone else spoke for stuff, but I don't want to assume.
I was going to say I can play anyone, so I was going to take whoever they didn't want anyway. So
okay, all right. Well, thank you for the flexibility.
Where is my? There is my dude.
All right, hang on, chat. I'm capturing things as we speak. I'm capturing
Oh,
video.
Arven,
and
haven't they
there's-
told you to stop capturing the flag already?
It's the only way. It's the only way we can do it. Okay, and then let's see. Let me go up to here. I'm going to capture Emily. So yes, so chat, what you were about to see is the magic of essentially pickup Dungeons and Dragons. If anyone's ever played any pickup basketball, you will know that strange experience and mix of being like, you know, I don't know many of these people, although in this case, some of you do know each other by virtue of things in chat. But it's about figuring out like, wow, who are these people that I don't know? And then connecting with them and doing so in a powerful way. And just as the Boston Celtics have taken a 2-0 lead on the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals because they are a superior team, so too can you be part of that same mix. In no way am I a Celtics fan, which is why I'm bringing that subject up right now. That couldn't possibly be the reason.
Personally, I'm just not a sports fan in general.
That's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I understand it's not for everybody. Okay. And last but certainly not least, we've got down there this. Okay. Almost captured. And then I'm going to put names down there as well. Okay. So everyone has figured out what they want. There we go. Lovely.
By Jove, yes, sir. I have ascertained my identity.
That's the elf voice. That's the elf wizard voice, I mean.
By God's human, no!
Sounds about right. Okay. Let's see.
Would you rather hear me be Scottish? That would be probably not understandable.
Well,
I
since you
think
didn't get
elf
the dwarf.
probably fit better with a British accent, honestly.
That's
What?
true.
You're not. I don't think you get to do cameo yet.
What?
Our faces aren't on, so you're not doing.
That's
a
true.
cameo.
You're not.
Hi,
not quite,
Ballstag.
but soon. But hi, Ballstag.
Hello.
Okay, let me.
I forgot I was on video. I got my Grinch pants on.
At the moment, though, you were only in the distance. Okay, so we're gonna do this by. All right, D&D viewers. We have Emily playing. Okay, so Emily, if you were playing the cleric, that means that you are playing Evandon Hart, or should I say Evandon Hart?
Hard.
Hart.
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 Okay, Evandon Hart. Let me put that up there.
And get Roll20 to work.
Evandon Hart. Okay. Then we have, let's see. All right. And then we have Silvera is playing the Dwarven Fighter,
Yep.
otherwise known as Shalefire Stoutheart,
Yep.
which is, you know,
When you say shale fire, is it like the actual first name, both of them, or is it?
it's one word. That
it's
first
one
name's
name.
all one word. It's all like, yeah,
I
Shalefire.
can't get my Roll20 to
Stoutheart.
work. Dang it.
I suspect there's a bit of orc in there.
Could be.
Maybe.
But I think, you know, it's important to have a series of compound words as a dwarf. You know, if you can't just be like 2-syllable names, you know, like Bob Smith or something. Like it has to be mega.
All I'm seeing on Roll20 is just a black screen. Like
That's probably right. That's probably right because there's only a splash screen at the moment. So you're probably right that that's what you're seeing.
Okay, just checking because I'm like,
Yep.
this could be a problem.
Yep.
I
Don't
currently
worry
see
about it.
3
You should be fine
players
as long
and-
as you load it into it. Okay, you should be okay. All
I
right.
currently
Wait.
see 3 players online in Roll20. Effect Live, Gregory, Echo Alpha, and Eddie A. So
Oh, okay. So in that case, then no, unless that's Silvera, probably. So it's just
Eddie is me, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're in. So it's just when Emily, did you get that Roll20 link that I sent by chance?
Did. Sorry, I was putting.
That's okay. There's no.
Do I click
no
the
big problem.
launch?
Yeah, if you just click it, it should be able to launch from there. Okay.
Also, random side question. I heard you're making soup. What kind?
Oh. are we on screen? I don't even know.
Not yet. I'm just finishing
can-
capturing, but they can hear you though.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, everybody. I can so I can show it too. I mean, you'll see that I was genuinely not I had 0% chance of this happening because I did make soup. It's got let's see, it's got some sort of vegan chicken protein. It's got some ramen noodles, some cashew and fresh garlic, and corn and peas, and broth and tamari, and various herbs and spices, and also some wild spinach I picked from the yard.
I hear
Sounds
none of that that's
delicious.
bad. That all
and
sounds
garlic
good.
scapes.
And garlic.
scapes.
I was like, where's the garlic?
No, garlic and garlic scapes because it's June.
Oh.
I
But
mean, yeah. But you
that's-
grow your own stuff?
I mean, not like functionally, but I do grow some garlic. This isn't the garlic that you grow, you harvest it like in the fall.
Oh,
But the garlic scapes I did grow, which are
those sound tasty.
Okay. I now
Is
have,
Personally,
nobody
I'm
gonna
too
have
poor
corn on the
because
cob
I-
today?
I don't want to get up. And
I've had that last week.
Okay. Everyone looks good. All right. So I have got, let's see. So Effect Life is Nora Eldenfield. Is that right, Effect Life? To have you Nora
Yeah.
Eldenfield, I believe.
Yeah, that's fine to me.
Okay. I think that's the name. But it's the Halfling
Yep.
Rogue.
Mhm.
And then I have let's see. Echo is Galantine
Valentin Birkenbach.
Birkenbach. Which is, normally like Birkenbau, but everyone pronounces it like Galantine in particular probably calls it Birkenbach because, Mr.
Oh, I got the same with my
Baccarat.
last name.
Okay. Make sure that's there. Good. Lovely. All right. So we're going to save that here. All right, chat, here we go. Chat, are you hyped and ready for the introduction of the crew? Are you ready to go? Are you prepared? Is there hype? I'm waiting for hype to appear in chat. Do we have some Marviny hypes? Do we have some, some mega? Okay. Now I see it. Also, hi, Prince Justin. All right, good. So we have got some hypes. All right, here we go. And there it is. Welcome not just to Peril in Pinebrook, but to the D&D with Viewers crew who have stepped up to the plate and have volunteered to be part of this awesome experience. So thank you, everybody. All right. So I'm going to go down for each of these folks, and I will start. Effect Life, you happen to be at the top of my column, so I'm going to start with you. So welcome. So first of all, I just have to say, I want you to introduce yourself and talk about whatever you want to talk about relating to yourself and D&D, but I do want to mention that Effect Life is the person behind ARFBot. ARFBot. So when you've seen all the voting software that we do and all that, that is Effect Life's incredible work. So definitely, this is the person. Now you know who you have to thank for all of the many, many sessions of chat voting that gets done, etc., giveaways and all the other stuff. So it's good to see you, Effect Life. Thank you for being here. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. And again, you have a character built in, but you could tell us a little bit maybe about your own thoughts about what made Nora Eldenfield too, like in your own mind.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Effect Life, at least in here. This is the first time that I've ever played D&D, any kind of D&D, actually. However, I have been watching R for easily 8 years now.
Yeah.
So I think I have at least some experience in how the mechanics work. So I'm really excited to be here for the first time. Also, the first time on screen and on this particular stream. So
good stuff. Really good to have you here, Effect Life. Seriously, and we're going to be seeing Effect Life again in August, actually, for the event over in the UK. So that's really cool. I'm honored that this is your first game that you're playing. That's really cool. You have any thoughts about Nora, Effect Life?
Not really, honestly.
Learn through play.
Indeed.
Okay.
I haven't really thought about any kind of backstory. So
that's fine. Learning through play.
They're just a person who appeared in the correct place at the correct time, I guess. So
yep, that seems reasonable. And yes, a lot of this can be developed through play. So, but welcome. Genuinely happy to have you with us, Effect Life. Okay, second down on the list is someone who should be quite familiar to people in this channel, and that is Emily the Invincible, who is with us. Welcome, Emily. Emily, of course, is the editor, guest of honor, honoree. I don't know how to call that. Guest of honor, honoree. The Gen Con Writer Symposium programming coordinator. The editor of the highly acclaimed, critically acclaimed, and newly go-funded mead, if that's a thing, Athos Arts. And also happens to be the editor for several of my books and has done exceptional work in all of those things. And welcome, Emily. So how are you, and anything you want to say about yourself? And if you have any thoughts, no requirement, but if you have any thoughts about Evenden Hart.
Yes, I do. And I have a few things to cover, so I'll be brief because I don't want to take too much time. First of all, we're going to educate. This is called a garlic scape.
Wow.
And you harvest them in June, and you cut them off so that the garlic, they don't focus their energy on the flower, but instead the garlic. They're delicious, and this is what would have turned into the flower on the garlic. And
That's
they taste,
cool.
yeah, they're one per plant, and you cut them off and you can chop them up. They're tender, they're delicious. You don't see them in stores for reasons.
I've never
just-
actually heard of a garlic scape. This is the first time I've ever heard of that. Wow.
You learn
Neither have I.
every
Wow.
time you talk
Same
to me, you
here.
learn something. This is a garlic scape, and I also have some I have some of this and some wild spinach I grew in my yard in the soup. And I'm not going to tilt it because I know that if I tilted it to show you, it would go on my keyboard.
Everywhere.
I just want to prove that this was not a myth.
The soup
There is
exists.
actually
Oh man.
delicious little soup in here with wild spinach. And here's a cooked version of. I don't eat with my fingers. Don't spread that rumor, except I always do. Cooked little garlic.
Oh, garlic
I'm
scape.
gonna set the soup down because I don't want it. It would be very me to be like, and then, haha, don't spill it on your computer. And then
How else do you do with viewers? Well,
I said I wasn't gonna do a second GoFundMe, but this one is called Emily Spilled Soup.
It just crashes like a freaking Wii.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Nintendo
yeah.
Wii.
Exactly.
And so we have this.
The Emily soup.
I have very few talents, and one of them that I will claim boldly is that I make delicious soup. Delicious. Okay, so apparently I'm playing this human cleric. Don't worry about gender. Any pronouns are fine. Heart is not, particularly fussy. And it says you're supposed to draw. I'll say draw him. So this is what he looks like.
Ah,
So,
nice.
Staff and a little book, and is really happy.
Not sure. Can't
And
draw.
also you could put notes. So I said I know how to do it. I'm not like you. It's going to be backwards. Who cares? It's
Hi,
my
friends.
friends, and shout out to Boss.
Shout out to Boss. Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boss.
Boss and I are
Listen,
we're kind of like BFFs. So it's
how
okay.
about that?
And it says you can put
All
your
but the
nickname.
light.
So Hart goes by his last name, and the more you considers it a sign of deep respect and affection, the more A's that you put into it.
Hart.
If you
The
really-
more it sounds like Khan, the better.
Yeah, if you're just like Hart, I'm probably gonna get out of there. It's a habit from my years in the human cleric corps, to be called by my last name. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I am very excited to hear from Hart.
And you can tell
Chris.
I'm just lucky I took a shower because I am here. I have pajama pants. Actually, I'm gonna do that weird thing Greg does with his shirt. I have my Athos Arts shirt on just
Yep.
by coincidence.
Yep.
With chaos, and we don't need to talk about why my dragon is like right up in chaos's butt, but I didn't draw it. Look, right, see there's chaos. I have to be careful here. What am I showing on the camera? And there's my dragon thunder. Anyway, this is getting too weird. I gotta put the shirt back on. All right. Yes. So here I am, and I'm excited.
Very cool. Thank you, Emily. And yes, always happy to have anything that features chaos, which is both chaos and also refers to a certain panther that is a prominent role in my novels, which Emily edited. Thank you, Emily. Moving right down the line, another person also familiar, of course, quite familiar to people in this channel, and that is Echo Alpha X5, who apparently has become the creator. I don't know what that means. Like, apparently you were also the creator. I didn't know that, but I'm honored that you've joined us. Oh, okay. It's actually a film.
Yep.
Just want to make sure. Echo, it's good to see you. While the package of the stuff that you won during ArvCon is winging its way to you, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself quick, and then about if you have any quick thoughts on backstory for Galantine, but not too long though, because I want to make sure we get onto the adventure.
Well, I might be quick to making stuff up. I'm not that quick. But yeah, hello, what are salutations and good evening from Norway. I'm a Alpha 5, and I have known to be a creator of streamer introductions that are on everyone's channel for many, many years.
Indeed.
Beyond that, I'm a filmaholic, cinemaholic, clipaholic, clipsmith, and I roam the Twitchverse here, there, and everywhere on Twitch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do really much in life. Other that I watch Twitch 24/7 almost. I'm a nerd. What can I tell?
Any
And I
thoughts about
sadly won't.
Galatine?
I won't be on the. I won't be on the August 17th. I wish it
Yeah,
could be.
it's too bad, but I understand.
Had I known previously about it, then I probably would have saved up for it. But no. And I would have brought along my little brother from Liverpool. That's a long story, and private. And the character I will be playing is Galantin Birkenbow, which probably will assume that Wild and Elf may have some relations of a different race. I don't know. But he's a wizard, he and him pronouns, and it's quite a bit of age, but has the appearance of to be a youngster. Absent-minded sometimes when looking and seeing some pretty stuff, and beyond that, very focused. Silver-haired, of course, always, and tries to often be soft-spoken, so not to blabber about to whoever listening nearby. And pretty much that's it.
Good stuff, Echo. Thank you. I'm looking forward to that. I should have actually, while I was going through this, you all mentioned something I should have asked before, which is Effect Life, is Nora a she, her, or because it's up to you?
They, them is fine to me.
They, them? All right. Okay. All right. And then last but certainly not least is brand new to the channel, but thank you, Silvera, for joining us. And that is, and especially that's just jumping on board without having known any of us before. But Silvera Draconis is with us, so welcome, Silvera. So yeah, same thing to you. Tell us briefly a little bit about yourself, and then about Shalefire Stoutheart the Fifth, or whatever.
Personally, I'm kind of weird. I do a lot of things, but my favorite thing to do is eat. Like, I often go to restaurants. Like, I've honestly eaten from every single barbecue joint in town.
Good choice.
I've played D&D quite a bit, all kinds of different campaigns, but this will be fun because I haven't done a pickup game. Usually we do a session 0.
That's true. This is your session 0 and your session conclusion, so it's
Pretty
all
much.
sessions. That's right. So
It's a
tell me about Shalefire.
Well, I don't really have a picture,
That's true.
so I just had to Google one.
Okay.
Basically, she uses a warhammer and a shield in the picture, but I'm not sure if I could use that.
That's probably fine. It will give you the, I think you have, let's see. We have
Currently
a hand axe and a
hand
short
axe, what
bow,
it
but if you
says.
want to switch the hand axe with the warhammer, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And did I hear that was a she, her for Shalefire?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Lovely.
Just don't expect me to do any voices. I can't do it.
That's quite all right. And listen, that's fine. You bring your skill and knowledge, and most of all yourself, to the game, and that's the most important thing. All right, y'all. Well, let's roll a little bit. We're going to pull up my favorite track for this, which is, let me just bring this up here. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Nope. Not this one. This one. Yeah, under peaceful music. It's okay. It's under Willow. All right. So, oh, that's why I was looking in the wrong spot. I'm like, what the heck? I know it's here. All right. So, and it is called Willow in the Light, which I really, really like and I use quite a bit, by the great Kevin MacLeod. All right. Let us roll, chat. So, you, all of you, are from the village of Pinebrook, which is a small settlement near the base of a mountain range called the Spine of the World. For those of you who are familiar with the Forgotten Realms, you will know that the Spine of the World is very far north in the continent, so far north that it is, in fact, the place where a lot of people say the final end of the world might come if it ever does. This is the land of Dristo, Erden, and numerous other people in that place. But you, of course, are not occupied with those kinds of high-level things yet. You're in the midst of making a name for yourself. In addition to the normal jobs that they have, the citizens of Pinebrook generally take turns patrolling the forest and hills around the village, making sure the area is safe for the loggers who work in the forest and the miners who dig in the mountains for iron ore. And today, for the first time, it is your turn to patrol the forest with some of your friends. There are dangerous creatures who wander the woods sometimes, but it has been safe recently, and rumors have spread throughout the area that the reason for that is that a friendly silver dragon has recently established a lair in the nearest mountain. The more hostile creatures of the mountains, especially the dangerous ice trolls, haven't been seen in the past 2 months. Yesterday, however, a patrol saw large frosty troll footprints in the forest. Could the rumors of a friendly silver dragon be just rumors after all? That is a question you might ask, or answer rather, on your patrol. Your patrol today is led by the head of the village guards, Captain Emma Cole. Captain Cole glances nervously at the forest trail, and then she nods at all of you. I've not patrolled with any of you before. Tell me a little about yourselves. Well, let me see. You, Hart. I've seen you around the village, but I don't really know a lot about what you've got in terms of your military qualities. Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a healer, and that's really my military qualities. I don't like to fight. I prefer not to, but I've found that when people are hurting, I can be there to help them, so.
That's quite all right, as long as you heal yourself with your whole body. Now, one of the things that you all know about Captain Cole is that Captain Cole does absolutely nothing halfway. So if Captain Cole, for example, was to go out and harvest garlic scapes, she would harvest the living hell out of garlic scapes, okay? Like, she would not joke around. So she does everything halfway. She says, as long as you're willing to heal, fully, completely, 100% heal your companions, then you've got your own military value. Can I rely on you, Hart?
You can, Captain Cole, but you gotta lower the pressure a little. Like, that's a lot for me.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no pressure here at all. And then giving you a hearty
you don't
slap.
have to worry about me.
She gives you a hearty slap on the shoulder that you have to stagger back, because, and then turns around and says, aye, and then I've seen you practicing in the Wizard Tower. Your name is Galantine Birkenpine, right? Or Birken Oak? Birkenstick? Birken what?
It is Birkenbow, sir.
Oh, Birkenbow.
Galantine Birkenbow.
All right. Well, look, let me ask you. So we've got a healer who heals with all of her might, all of their might. So the question is, do you heal, not heal, do you do something with all of your might that's useful in this campaign, this party?
I do. I have over the many years of the course of the days and nights trained in the art of the craft of the magic. I am a wizard.
All right.
Video.
Can you, and she points to a stone, can you make that lift?
Why, certainly. And he takes a posture and he lays one hand behind his back and just go.
Okay. Does it actually lift?
He lifts. He lifts.
Oh,
yeah.
I had this image of you
Easily.
actually lifting with your hand and then being like, so Cole watches and then, all right, so you can lift some stones. All right, I suppose you've got some magic in you then. Listen. And she looks at you directly in the eyes. Very little knowledge, sort of awareness of personal space, Captain Cole. All right, listen. If you're going to be what needs to happen here, Birkenbush, then we're going to have to work together. And she kind of
Birkenbow.
Sorry, Birkenbow. I apologize. Birkenbow.
You wish to have me on this campaign of yours, but then you shall call me by my proper name and how it is spelled.
I apologize, Birkenbow. You have to understand that sometimes I get a little bit.
I understand.
Thrown off. I'm just focused. All right, so you got to be focused. You got to be magically
Too
gifted
focused.
and stay in with what's necessary, or my name isn't Captain Cool. You get the impression she may not be big on names in general. This may just be a thing she does. So she nods at you sagely and then turns and says to Shalefire, all right, now as for you, I can see that you've got what it takes. I see armor, I see a warhammer, and I see a dwarf. Those are all good signs. Do you have what it takes to bring the fight to your enemies?
I believe I do.
Well,
I mean, it could work either way.
I don't know. That doesn't sound quite like a lot of belief. Here, and she brings out from behind her this like little twig, basically, and holds it between her two hands. She's like, can you cut this safely? Well, actually, you don't have an axe. Can you hit this safely? Just break it. Can you break this safely? Okay, so you break it with ease, and she says, all right, you've proven you can do so. And at this point, a little bit of group of the villagers have gathered to watch this, and there's a little cheer that goes up as Shellfire breaks the twig, and she turns around and she says, aye, so he's successfully broken a twig, but what happens if he needs to break the skull of a troll? And the villagers are all, oh, and then they get very quiet, and she says, that's all right, I believe in Shellfire. And he turns and says to you, Shellfire, but do you believe in yourself?
I mean, I do.
She nods slowly. All right, then. And she says, finally, we've got you. And she flips to turn to you, Nora. And she says, I've seen you about. As I recall, there have been a couple of times where you've stolen things from windows. I believe there was an apple pie of mine cooking that vanished off of my back windowsill that was cooling. I don't suppose you had anything to do with that, did you?
It was a tasty pie, honestly.
Normally, your confession would trouble me and I'd take you under arrest. But, actually, it's what I need. If it's true that you're a good thief, then your skills could come to bear. But do you have the commitment, the discipline, to not think about apple pies, but about helping your companions?
If I may so interrupt for a bold moment.
Yes.
This little halfling has attempted to steal my little coin that I have in my little pouch here. For a number of times throughout my stand here in, what was it? Pinebrook? Yeah, Pinebrook. In Pinebrook. Have succeeded a few times, but by my words and all my years, I have never counted a halfling as so witty and cunning as this little one.
I see. As she turns
Not
to
the
you,
years since Cade Marmadas.
and I'd heard that name in the distant past. She turns to you, Nora, and she says, well, is it true?
I'm just juggling the coins that I took by now.
Which you still have in your bag, right? Like, each one individually marked. And she says, all right, then. Well, it's an interesting crew. But, and she sort of like looks at all of you, like stares at each of you individually, and then says, all right, well, this forest won't patrol itself. Let's get to it. I'm ready to fight if we have to. And then she turns around and heads out. Now, Captain Cole, as I mentioned, does nothing halfway. So as she leads you into the forest, you notice that she also, apparently, does not do stealth halfway either. Every tree is behind the tree, hiding in every shadow, that type of thing, doing the incredibly elaborate footprint on top of footprint so as not to crunch the snow and, the whole bit. And every so often she looks behind all of you to see if any of you are doing this. Are you trying to be somewhat stealthy, I guess, is what she seems to be looking at. Anyone can take that on.
Quite bad myself. So I'm kind of like, it looks like I'm sort of learning to dance for the first time. I'm like kind of nervously looking around and like going behind the trees, and I think I realize that more twigs are snapping by me doing this, so I finally just sort of like stop and just kind of follow.
Okay. Let's see, Galantine, are you attempting to stealth at all?
Well, Galantine would attempt if he had any of skill in stealth at all.
That's right.
He does not. So he would attempt at least to not make any sounds or noises while wandering through the forest, and attempting to be as stealth as possible without actually being clumsy.
That's fair enough. And at least early on, it seems like you're able to do that. You do, of course, all have familiarity with the village and its general environs, and that helps. Shalefire, you, of course, have got the full-out armor and weapons and everything. I'm not sure how
I'm not
often.
even try stealthing.
Okay, you're just walking ahead. So and then I have to ask about Nuruk, which I'll come back to the whole party in a minute. So Nora, you do have some stealth ability. Are you trying to?
Yes, I'm also trying to be stealthy, but less demonstrative, less elaborate than
Right.
the captain.
Do me a favor and roll, if you would, a stealth check for me, Nora. So that's the, as you know, D20 plus 5, I think, is your skill on this. 24, right. So you have Captain Cole, who's like comically stealthing. And then you have Hart, who's sort of trying and then kind of eventually gives up. You have Galantine, who's kind of going through the motions with the robes, attempting to do so. Shalefire, who's just like clanking straight ahead with all of this. And then everyone's like, where's Nora? And like, meanwhile, there's just occasional, like a bunny like moves and then you think you see Nora's like shadow behind the bunny. Like, it's extremely impressive for Nora in any case. If I were to do a group stealth check, it would be like Nora would compensate for everybody else. But nonetheless, you move along the forest trail for about 15 minutes before Captain Cole stops and holds up a hand. And she says, "Do you hear that?" And to find out if you hear that, I'm going to ask all of you to make a perception check for me, please. And everyone should have that skill, I think.
Ooh.
Okay, I am so used to automatic doing by clicking on my character sheet.
I know.
Since I've been on two
That's a
campaigns.
dirty 20.
Zach, well, cool.
Ooh.
All right, we got a dirty 12. Oh, let me see. Do I have? Oh, you rolled it in there. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we have a 20. I think Nora is so busy, like being behind the bunny, that they're kind of not focusing maybe on what they hear. With that 7. Okay, we
This
have
slash roll, right?
that's right.
Mhm.
Or you can use the little the toolbar as well with the die icon. You can do that too. Either of those works.
Oh, yeah.
Shellfire, I heard about that 20. I'll come back to that.
Ah.
20 and add the perception.
And add the perception. That's right.
Yeah.
All right,
do
we got a 12 there for hard.
Oh wait, hang on.
That was a 7 plus whatever.
Yeah. Just press the 3.
Yeah, you can do that in this case. Normally there would be a thing that says slash roll d20 and then just plus whatever. But in this case, we can add it manually. So I think what you got, 7. Your perception's what, a 4, 3, 4?
My perception is 3, so that'll be a 10.
10. Okay. So then I would say that Galantine and Hart and Shellfire, but not Nora. You can hear there is a noise that is coming from the thorny forest underbrush. And it sounds very much like almost the sound of metal scraping against something. But it's not clear exactly as to what it is. But you can see that it's coming from the thorny forest underbrush. And so Captain Cole in a whisper says, "Do you hear that?" So for those of you who did hear it, not count, so everyone but Nora, what does any of you want to say, if anything?
It sounds like metal. I hear it.
I hear it as
What?
well. Yes.
What am I
What is
supposed
that?
to hear?
And she just sort of looks at you and actually doesn't look at you. Where did Nora go? Oh, never mind. And she says, and she points at the sound that you have all heard, except for Nora. And the underbrush at the edge of the trail rustles, and a creature the size of a large dog crawls from the thorns and leaves. At first, the creature looks like a strange metallic lizard, maybe like a lizard made of metal even. But as you look more closely, you can see that it is actually a small dragon with blue-gray scales and a long, pointy tongue. And the dragon is crawling in your direction. It feebly tries to scrape pieces of silver eggshell off its head and face, and it makes a hissy, whimpering sound, like a...
Like it's wounded.
You would have to get closer if you wanted to find out.
Well, Galantine is gonna take the approach and go ahead because he is very fascinated by the colors. Because
Okay.
he loves the silver and the blue.
I see. You were. He. I see. Hey, right. I see him going ahead, and I'm like, all right. I need to be in here and see what's going on with this. So I go too.
Okay. Shellfire, Nora, what about you two?
I'm gonna go as well.
Okay. Nora.
And if
Cautiously.
wounded, try to help the thing.
Okay. Nora, what about you?
I'm going cautiously, but I also see the eggshell, so I assume it just hatched. So I'm going to inform the rest that, and I point to the eggshells from. Could it be that this creature just hatched?
Could be. Could be.
Say, Galantine, be careful. Let's not
Where-
startle it.
Where is its
I intended
mother?
not to.
Yeah, as you're moving in the direction of the dragon, Captain Cole pulls a book from her backpack, and you can see it's well worn, and it has the title "The Practically Complete Guide to Dragons." And she flips to the middle of the book, and she says, "All right, let's see,
So
catamounts."
essentially, it is Dragon's Guide to Dummies.
Yes, exactly. Catamounts, doofuses. Oh yes, dragons. And then she says, "Right, well, it's true. This is a newborn silver dragon. Oh, Nora, I think you got it. The mother's lair must be in the nearest mountain just beyond the forest. As the rumor said, there is a silver dragon. Well, we must pray." Well, oh, wait a minute. And then she sort of gets very serious because she can see the dragon is just kind of whimpering up at her, and she says, "Well, we need to get this baby to its mother quickly. I wonder how it got so far from home." Ugh.
I reckon those frost trolls stole the egg.
And she sort of looks at you, Shellfire, and her eyes widen. And she says, "Oh, if you're right, then the village is in danger." But, and then she kind of looks at the dragon, and she looks at the path ahead, and then she looks back at the village, and she says, all right. I have to return to Pinebrook and tell them what we found. If they don't, the village could be overrun by trolls. All right, I'm going to go back there and get backup. In the meantime, the four of you, all you need to do is take the baby to its lair and its mother. You got to protect this dragon with your lives. If the mother finds out the dragon's dead, well, we'll all be dead soon after. So, just make sure that you protect it. There are trails in the forest leading right up to the mountain. And while you're doing it, you give this poor thing a name and get it some food. It looks weak. Oh, and she tears...
Before you do, please bear in mind to tell the good folk of Pinebrook. We can handle this. They do not grab the forks and whatever else they have of weaponry to not engage the dragons or whatever.
And she nods. She says, "You have the right of it. I'm not going to go back there and tell them to get pitchforks and a mob. No, in fact, we're going to have hope that we can get this silver dragon on our side. Don't worry, they won't be coming on anyone's account, believe me. But
if you're better
on
our side, do take thought that we have to have the mother on our side as well."
I agree. That's why you've got to be careful with it. And she goes, rip, and out of this book, she tears a page, which is the dragon page. And she says, "Well, here, this might be useful. According to the book, it says," and then she holds the page up, "silver dragons are, peaceful, and they usually like people." So that's a good sign. I mean, normally, if you usually like someone, that's a good sign, right? All right, well, and she sort of bustles herself, gets
Normally, I
herself
will
together.
not take the word of a book when it comes to actual confrontation with something, but we will take it in good spirits and take use of it if you need it. And he takes the page and rolls it up and puts it in his backpack. Well, not backpack, but his bag. It's like a messenger bag.
And by the way, I should mention that that page has some basic translations of Draconic, which is, of course, the dragon's language, into the common language that all of you know. So it could be something that's useful later. So Captain Cole says, "All right, now, good luck, and get moving with it as soon as you can feed it," and then turns around and marches down the path. And you're left looking at this young baby dragon who looks up and goes,
So Galantine would walk up.
Galantine, let's not scare it. So I kind of moved forward and I said, let's try.
What have I made you to think that I will try to scare it? Look at the poor thing. It's wounded.
It's a baby, and you're this, formidable presence that is of legend.
It could
So-
easily take us out if you wanted. But
Yeah.
how big is the dragon? Well, you say it's small, but how?
I don't want to start. I'm very nervous about this, about starting out. You know, I'm kind of a healer, so I look at it to see, you know, is it looking at us? I say, I don't know if you understand me, but we're here to protect you.
So it tilts its head. Now, in answer to the size question, and then I'll let Shellfire jump in. In answer to the size question, it's the size of a large dog. So I'm guessing, think like, you know, Great Dane size, maybe that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a good size, but it's not like, you know, this of course is a fraction of it. Go ahead, Shellfire.
I don't know.
I want to crouch down slightly, not completely, but slightly, and approach it with my arms extended, as if I'm approaching a cat.
Okay.
Just to let it sniff a little bit, but very carefully, and
So
ready to jump back up if something happens.
So it tilts its head, and then tilts its head back, and then, and it kind of like leans its head forward, and so you all have this image of Nora kind of carefully like coming close, reaching out its hand, heart on the other side, sort of, you know, carefully watching, right? And Nora reaches out the hand, and this large Great Dane head-sized, you know, baby dragon sort of sniffs, and then and sneezes, and a little bit of ice breath comes out. Not on you though, Nora.
Bless you.
Okay.
Yeah, on you, and freezes you for 100 days. No, just kidding.
Yeah, Nora just goes, yeah.
Frostbite.
Yeah, exactly. No, but near you. But otherwise, it's sort of then it reaches back up and it tries to like nuzzle your hand, and it like sort of opens your hand a little bit with its jaw, just like, you know, gently. But then it sort of looks at you.
It's hungry. Hungry. What doesn't?
You didn't have to say a word. It seemed to attempted to say something in its native language. I mean, have a look at the page that the captain provided us.
Galantine,
Galantine,
as you look at that page, Galantine, you don't think actually that it's making a word, at least not one yet. If it's just hatched, probably you would guess it wouldn't have the capacity to do that yet, even though they do grow up, well, in some ways faster and in some ways slower than regular mortal humanoids would. But you don't think it's doing that. It is, however, definitely making this kind of hissing, whimpering sound, and it does seem to be making the universal sign, since it keeps bopping Nora's open hand and then looking up at you mournfully for there's no food here.
Does the page say what they eat?
That's a good question. So the page does not, but I could take either a survival check, possibly from Shalefire, or Galantine could maybe make a nature check to get a sense if you've heard about what creatures like this might eat for different reasons.
Well, I could do a nature check.
Yeah, both of you can do that. Like Galantine can make the nature, Shalefire, if you want to do your survival, you can.
I just feel like it'd be awkward to bring it back like 10 bleeding rabbits and then find out that it just wanted some berries.
Exactly.
Or something.
Secretly, it's a vegetarian.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
exactly.
funny.
You know.
I agree.
So I got a
I rolled a
14
nat
on the
20.
nature check.
Okay, 14. Go ahead, Shalefire. What?
Nat 20.
Not 20. Wow. Okay. Shalefire, your extensive knowledge, since you were raised by silver dragon babies. No, I'm just kidding. But no. So both of you know, and in fact, Galantine would know this also, that especially silver dragons, young baby silver dragons, do in fact generally eat berries and nuts. And you have some of those in your rations. You also can find some presumably in nature. But that's generally what they eat initially. Later on, they start graduating to different kinds of foods that are, broader, more in the bleeding rabbit category probably, and more, but not at least when they're this young.
The
Is
circle
there
of
no
life.
animal handling to feed it?
Sure. You could do that. Do you have an animal handling on?
I have +5 to animal handling.
Yeah, you can do that.
Galantine would probably.
Fucking hell, not again.
What was it?
Another nat 20.
That was another nat 20. Okay, so
I
you
don't know
immediately-
how I'm lucky.
So that no, listen, you're getting him out of the way now. It's fine. You immediately make it into your very best friend. No, I'm just not quite. But you do move up carefully. I'll come back to you in a second, Echo, about Galantine. But Shellfire, you come close and are able to give it some of those berries and nuts, and it devours them. But you notice does not. It's very gentle. It does not actually try to eat your hand or anything like that. It eats the berries, and then it looks at you all and sort of its head perked up, and it says, Nitha.
I'm guessing that means mother, or some variation.
Seems to be quite enamored of you, Shellfire. It bumps its head into your side, pushing you off because a Great Dane dragon is still pretty strong. Galantine, you were gonna ask.
No, Gallatin was just gonna walk up very slowly and kneel down alongside the dwarf and pull out some of his rations and offer it.
Okay, and again,
like this.
Yeah. And again, and then sort of bumps your hand, not looking for more, you don't think, but is sort of like kind of almost nuzzling. And again, it says, Nitha. And then it looks at you and says, Nitha, and looks at Shellfire and says, Nitha.
Nitha. Let me have a look at the page again. So
I don't.
Go say that again, Emily. I'm sorry.
I'd like to hear if this word is on the page before I react.
I don't think that any one of us has any experience in the language. So
That is true, and it is not on the page.
well,
I'm going
it seems to say a word that I am not familiar with. No, the page doesn't says anything about it. It seems to say Nitha.
I ask Galantine, is there a hungry on there or something like that? And what is the draconic word for that if it's on the page?
I'm not certain. Let me have a look.
There is a
If
word.
we-
There is the word for
if-
food, if you wanted to know about that.
Okay.
Is there a word for mother or parent?
There is not.
At least then we know what it isn't. So
Yeah. The word for food is akthend.
So Gallatin very softly. There's a. What was the word again?
Akthend.
Achthend.
And
Achthend?
yeah, and so the baby dragon kind of like tilts its head, and then sort of it doesn't shake its head. It kind of swings around, and then sort of looks up the path away from you towards the mountain.
So I move toward it and I say, all of us, we are Nifa. We don't know what you call your mother or your father or parent, but we're going to try to take you to them together as Nifa. I said, I don't know if you can understand this, but hopefully you can hear that we mean you well and we're not going to hurt you.
And it looks up at Hart, and then just sort of like looks back at the path. You don't know how much of that got picked up or not, Hart, but it certainly didn't like run away.
That is
Gallatin suddenly like
all the time.
hang on. I may know a way. So he gently attempts to like nuzzle, stroke the silver dragon, the little small dragon. Well, because the dragon they pointed the way towards the mountain, right?
Seems to be, yes, facing in the direction of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so while the little dragon looks towards the direction of the mountains, Galantine points towards the mountain and goes, Nitha?
And the dragon looks back at you and tilts its head in the unmistakable look of, what are you talking about? Like it just is sort of like, and then
Is that
looks
what you
back
mean?
at the
The
path.
mountain? Do you mean mountain or mother and you're pointing to her lair? Could that be it?
It can be possibly be mother, yes. I am not certain, but
We should probably start
I'm-
moving that way if it'll come with us.
Mm-hmm. I am just looking at
Alright.
everyone with a thinking face, saying, "Could it mean home?"
My character's
Maybe.
gonna like, "Hup. Well, let's get on our journey."
Also, I have a
Starts
picture
walking
of
off.
it, by the way, which I'm going to throw on stream.
You're holding
So-
out on a picture of a baby dragon.
I know. Here you go, chat.
Arvin, you beep!
Cute. He's so cute.
Oh.
Wait.
I know. Sorry, Dragon Spawn. My bad. I go off to do work and come back to a baby dragon. That's it. Yeah. That's
Buddy.
that's it.
He's
By the,
adorbs!
do you have a name for this dragon, by the way?
I'm just going Frosty.
Okay. Frosty.
What was
the
the name
dragon
again?
Was a very... well, they suggested Frosty. I mean, I like that nobody has said they hate it, so I'm like, that sounds about right.
I feel like we don't have the right to name this dragon, so if we're going to think of something to call the dragon,
A nickname.
Frosty,
yeah.
maybe I'll, I might
I
sometimes
just-
ice. I kind of see ice, but I think I think we've clearly gone a specific way with this. I
Could go Frosty
I just
Ice
look
if you want.
unimpressed, but
mean, after that, I can't be like, or Bartholomew. I mean, so I think we're
Yeah, right.
Frosty.
Frosty
Right.
Humperdinck.
Looks to me like a Thythena.
Fythier. Well, and honestly, it's mostly just a sort of nickname that you can use for it. So, look at Prince Justin in chat. Frosty. That's okay. Fhrost. Now, see, that's
Now that's the dwarven way to say the word frosty, aye.
that's using your head right there, Prince Justin. I love that. Frosty. Okay, so if you all, as it sounds like, are making your way towards sort of down the path, which is, I should say, really up the path because it's climbing upwards as you go through the forest. As you follow these trails, and again, it helps that you know the village quite well, and Frosty stays basically either right ahead of you or right with you, but never trails behind, never seems to want to go off to the left or right. Seems to focus a lot of its attention on Shalefire and Galantine, but is, connected with all of you. Like, it doesn't seem like worried or scared about any of you. And you eventually arrive at the base of the mountain. And there is a cave opening not too far ahead. If it's true that there is a dragon that built a lair in the mountain, this would seem like an obvious entrance. And under normal circumstances, probably wouldn't want to walk into a dragon's lair, unannounced. But in this case, you do have, of course, a baby dragon with you. And as you get close to the base of the mountain, Frosty, kind of, leans its head forward, as if it's, recognizes something. And sort of, it's not gonna run ahead of you, but it clearly is, inclined to go towards the cave.
Especially like Pluto in an old Mickey Mouse
Right.
video.
Exactly.
It's like stinging forward.
With the paw as it is making it, as it's going down the path.
No, he stands firmly still, like he has seen something, just focusing on it.
Okay, like the pointer. Yeah. Yes. But he's definitely interested. So the question is, are you all following with Frosty?
I am.
Yes, I will too.
Yes.
yes, I will, however, be preparing myself to defend myself, not attack, but defend myself,
Just in case. Okay.
just in case.
When you all get close to the cave entrance, you can see that the cave entrance itself is wide and filled with sunlight from the outside. It's a beautiful winter's morning, I should say. But the cave quickly goes dark beyond, so there's no real good way to see if there's anything inside from here. There are broken icicles and patches of frosty snow covering the ground at the cave entrance. Nora, since you were the one talking about wanting to be careful to defend yourself, I think you're the one who sees this first. That the shards of ice at the front of the cave suddenly begin to twitch. And the icicles and snow shiver and then begin to connect with each other to form small ice creatures with wicked pointy claws. And one of them cries, "Intruders! Slash 'em good!" as they attack. So, here's the way that we are going to do this. I'm going to ask you all to roll something called initiative. Now, normally you would do this by adding your dexterity to this, but we don't actually have those scores here because, again, introductory. So what I'm going to ask you to do instead is simply to roll a d20 and then tell me what you get. I am going to give Nora, though, a +2 to this because Nora is the first one to see it and was specifically saying being careful about defending, et cetera, et cetera. So, Nora, you're going to do a d20 +2. Everyone else is just going to do a d20. I'm going to turn off this awesome, peaceful music, and I'm going to play some combat music.
So I got what is known in the R-verse as a this.
As a witch.
Yeah. The crit miss.
I see. Apparently, Galantine is
even-
looking elsewhere. What'd you get, Shellfire? Is that an 18?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's see. We've got an 18. We've got
I should
a
have brought up my own too, but I don't have a
natural
board yet.
1. Nora, what did you get? I'm not looking at it right now.
A 9.
A 9. And Heart, what'd you get?
A 7.
A 7. All right. Only Silvera is apparently prepared, super prepared for this. All right, let's get.
No one in life can really be prepared for icicles suddenly becoming little angry people that yell at you.
Yeah, that's. I mean, fair enough. Like, this is definitely not your normal, ordinary walk through the woods.
Yeah, my character like draws her hammer, readies the shield.
Yep.
Yeah, so while you're like getting ready, Heart is going, what? Like,
What's the problem? Okay. So, all right.
In which the hammer kind of looks like this.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice. Outstanding. Okay, so we've got that.
Is
We
it a
have-
two-hander or is it a one-hander? Looks like a two-hander.
It's a one-hander. It's a one-hander.
Oh.
Let's see. For most dwarves,
But
it
for
might
her-
be a two-hander, but for
For
Shalefire.
her, it's a two-hander.
Yeah. I was going to say, right. Shalefire did not skip arm day. All right, well, Shalefire is... Oh, wait, maybe I should roll for the bad guys. That might be helpful, huh? And maybe
Yeah.
they should be part of this mix. All right. Let's
Nah.
see. No need. All right. Let's.
I feel like Emily and our characters' surnames would actually be like a good comedy duo. Bach and Hard.
Bach and Hart, or like a 70s crime show.
Yeah, that one
Oh.
too.
You're muted, I think, Emily.
oh, I don't think I was.
Now you are. Or now you're. I can hear you now.
I don't know. You can hear you.
I might have been just, mumbling. I don't know about the 70s crime show. I think I could see the ads for the comedy duo.
Okay. All right. So, right. So there are, there are 5 of these things that confront you and are moving to the attack. So, Silvera, as you were looking at these, what I guess best could be described as like living icicles, basically. You can see them coming towards you with those pointy, sharp claws. What would you like to do?
Check something real quick. I'm gonna
Good.
use
You
my-
could say it would be a lesser ice elemental.
Yeah, that's what
that
I'm
could
thinking.
be very
I'm
lesser.
trying- I'm
but
trying
yes.
to think what would be effective against them. Would I for bludgeoning or should I use my bow?
Well, from what your knowledge, a warhammer is probably gonna be pretty good against ice, if you had to bet.
Probably gonna use that then.
All right, so go ahead. You can swing away. This thing comes straight up to you. They're all trying to cluster actually, but one of them is going to attempt to attack. And they come up, by the way, up to about your waist, maybe, Shalefire.
So I did it again.
Is that a natural 20 again?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not
That's
even
all right.
joking.
That's all right. Skeptical Al is skeptical. No, I believe it. Okay, so that is a critical hit. That means you are going to do max damage on that Warhammer. So typically for this, I think I just had you switch them out directly. So typically it would be a 1d6 plus 4. I think that's fair enough. We can keep that for the Warhammer. So that means that you're going to do 10 because I max damage when you max hit. They also do max damage on you if they crit hit. So you have crit hit
figured.
this icicle.
Dang it.
It's a Chris Evans moment.
It's a Chris Evans moment. So in this case, you don't have to worry about rolling dice for damage because this is just max damage. So
Oh.
this thing,
That's what I was worried about.
yeah, no, you're all good for
Safe
this.
tag.
and you just shatter it. Just pieces of ice go everywhere. In fact, Nora, I would say you have to dodge out of the way because one of the things goes flying past your face. But one is shattered. All right, now, Silvera, question. Where do you, again, we're Theater of the Minding it here. You're in this cave entrance. Do you want to sort of shift left or right to let companions like come up alongside you? How do you want to position yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna position myself in that position, but I'm just gonna like spread my legs a bit, like just to plant firm ground.
Yes.
Smack my shield and just yell as intimidation.
Okay, and it echoes through the cavern. Ah! It echoes for miles around the echo. Ah! Up into the sky. Ah! I just want to be clear about the level of the echo. And actually, several little bits of ice sort of rain down on you. Okay, next up is...
I just start rubbing my ear.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, ow! Right. Everyone is stunned. Speaking of you, Nora, you were up next. What would you like to do? There are 4 of these things left, one of which Shellfire has just shattered.
There are so 4 left or 3 left?
4 left. There were 5.
4
now
left.
4.
Okay. Is there any close to me?
Yeah. There are several of them that are sort of kind of around generally Shellfire, but they're kind of moving up to engage all of you.
Okay, I just attacked the closest one.
All right. What do we got? What are you attacking with?
Just my short sword, which is usually a +5 to hit and 1d6 +3, but I have a special ability. If you hit with an attack roll in the first round of combat during an encounter, you roll 2 6-sided dice for damage and add your damage modifier.
Very nice.
So in the first round, if I hit, I roll 2d6 instead of 1d6.
Okay. Let's do it.
But first a +5 to hit.
Yep.
So 1d20 +5. That's 17.
17 will hit for sure. Now you get to really throw in the damage.
Roll 2d6 +3.
Yeah, leave here and walk.
Where are we going?
Soon.
Oh,
You need to eat. Buy your book.
wonderful.
Okay, what do we got? How much damage?
6.
6,
6
okay.
points of damage.
Okay. That does not quite destroy it, but you shave a bunch of ice is what I'm saying off of it. You have a slushy and then what's left of it. It looks very hurt.
Did I manage to cut off his attacking arm?
Yeah, the one of the arm it's just like waving its one arm at you angrily. You've also managed to attract its attention and full rage upon you. But one of its arms is gone. It looks very hurt. How do you want to position yourself, Nora? Are you kind of backing up, backing forward?
Slightly backing up and bracing myself, but not out of, well, far enough that he has to move to get to me, but not out of range that I cannot get him in the next round.
Okay, so you can back up like 5 feet to do that. And if you sort of step back, that works, which leads us to Heart. One of these guys is very dead. One looks very hurt, and then 3 look fresh. No one seems to be hurt on your side yet.
So while they were attacking, and then roaring for the ages, and then the birds flying off.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched that for a minute. After my awe at that, I glanced down real quick at the dragon, and may I ask what Icy Frosty is doing right now?
Right now, Frosty is sort of if a baby dragon could have hackles, they would be raised. The dragon is down, and like its eyes are narrowed, and its sort of haunches are raised, basically.
I don't like this poor baby, this being the first thing it has to see. Well, I suppose the first thing was kindness, but after that, so I kind of look at it and I say, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna protect you, and I'm sorry you have to see this. And then I take my mace. That's how I do it. That's my mace.
I love it. Are you going after the one that's badly hurt or one of the fresh ones?
No, fresh.
All right. Let's do it.
Like, I'm a healer, but you come at me and my baby dragon?
Yeah. No, this cannot stand. I mean, Frosty is under threat
So
like that.
So I'm not, so loud, so I can't make the birds fly. And besides, they're already gone. They're already like miles away. So, sorry, European edition. I just outed myself. It's like they're like kilometers away, and I take my mace, and I don't quite roar, but I'm like, I got like the face.
Yeah.
Like this face.
It seems to impress Frosty.
You got the angry mama face, basically.
Oh, so IRL, I have an angry mama face that none of you want to see, and that's what that's what this character has on right now. And this mace is swinging, and I go, and that it hit is the 20 plus the modifier, right?
That is correct.
I'm picking it up. I'm getting it. I'll get there. Okay. So,
that is an 11. That will just hit. So you can roll your damage on this.
Okay, we know their AC now.
Just hit. Yep.
so. Okay.
Yeah, and that's well said, Dragonspawn. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, your angry mom look apparently has worked in this process. You absolutely hit this thing in the next week. So smash, and more ice goes flying over the cavern floor.
And I look over at the other two fresh ones on my side, and I say, "You can leave, but if you don't, ice gonna get smashed right now." So then I move my positioning, so you don't even have to go there. I move over toward Icy. I like saying Icy. We all have different nicknames. It's all the same. Multi-dimensional dragon baby. I go over toward Icy and kind of like assume sort of a protective stance that I'm hoping that the baby interprets as being protective and taking care of it.
Okay. All right. It seems to fall into line there. Now the remaining ones get to go. And so they're going to aim at some of the ones that have already been, that have already hit them. So let's see. We have one that is going to attempt to attack Nora, the angry one with the one hand. Let's see. But that's going to miss horrifically, I think. A 5 is not going to be equal to your AC, is it?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
so that's only one arm. I mean, that's what happens there. Okay, let's see. One is going to attack, is going to run over and try to attack Shalefire, which devastated one of its companions. That is a 16. That might actually hit. Shalefire, did that hit your AC?
What is it?
It was a 16.
Just barely.
Okay. So that is going to, with its pointy claws, inflict 2 points of damage on you.
All right.
Okay. Let's see.
I have 13 hit points total.
Right. Okay. So you're down to 11. All right. 11. Right. And then it sort of cackles at you. And then the last one is going to run over towards Hart, who has just threatened it. I mean, has been clear about it. Ooh. Wow. Apparently did not like being lectured. That is a critical hit, Hart, on you. Did not like that, apparently. So that is going to do, so it just absolutely smacks you, does 6 points of damage to you. And I believe you had 11, so I think you're at 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was the
They'll find
score
out.
1. I know. They'll know. They're going to know. Score 1 for the icicles. Okay. That leads us to Echo, who has not gone yet. Echo, there are 3 of these left. 1 is badly hurt.
Yeah, so Galantin's gonna reposition, so as they enter the cave alongside the group, we entered them right in the middle. So
Mm-hmm.
as the whole very little ice methods or elementals, whatever they were,
Right.
attacks, he would go a bit to the left towards the inner wall.
Okay.
Towards the wall.
You can do that.
And then while keeping his quarterstaff at the ready, he would launch a firebolt towards the one very wounded.
At first you said fireball, and I'm like, A, I don't know how you have access to that. B, that's probably going to hurt everyone a lot. Okay, firebolt makes a lot of sense. Okay, so go ahead and make your ranged attack that it should have on there, I think.
Yeah, that would be a 1d20 plus 5, right? No.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, because of one modifier 1 5
Plus 5, yeah,
to
that is.
hit.
It's 1d20 plus 5, yeah.
Okay, good. That's a 9, so I
9,
probably
unfortunately, woo, misses, sadly. Impacts against the wall. You can hear the sizzling of the slight bit of ice that went past one of the icicles, and they all look You know. Okay, you're against the wall, so I've asked you about that. So Frosty,
And not
yeah, go ahead.
not clinging against the wall. No, just that's standing right.
No, I
by
got
the
you. Yeah,
wall.
yeah. Frosty is, hissing angrily, and you have a suspicion that Frosty is going to leap forward to the attack if you do not finish this fight. Like, Hart, your position there means that Frosty/Icy is sort of like, like waiting to go forward, but is looking up at you, but is very much in the, the cat gathering themselves together for the pounce. It feels very much like that. And so keep that in mind. That leads us back to Shalefire at the top of the round. 3 of these left, Shalefire. 1 badly hurt and 2 fresh. What would you like to do?
What should a shield bash do?
Shield Bash might be quite effective against them. If you have, although I don't actually think you've got a Shield Bash on this guy. You do have a shield, but if you want to do that, I would say I'd make it a little bit less than using the Warhammer would. So I would say it's like a +4 to hit. I would say be probably like 1d6. I'm doing some back of napkin math. 1d6 plus 2. So it wouldn't do as much as the Warhammer, but it could theoretically knock them prone if that mattered. Although you were quite effective with your Warhammer anyway. But that's what I would say. If you want to do a shield bash, you can.
Actually, I'm gonna just charge closest one, or the one closest to Frosty with the hammer.
Okay, you can do that. Proceed. Go ahead and make your attack on the one that attacked Hart
17
and Frosty.
plus... I know I hit. I just want to see what I got.
Mm-hmm. Should be 1d20 plus 6, I think,
23?
right? Oh, yeah. Big
23,
time
I
hit.
think. 17 plus 6.
Yep, big hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. That's a 6.
Okay. This is another one that
Plus
is
whatever.
very close. Very close to death, but is not destroyed yet. You have 2 that are super hurt and 1 that is not.
I rolled a 6 flat, so that would be...
Oh, well, if you rolled a 6 flat, then that may take care of it. Yeah, because you got +4, right? 6 plus 4 damage?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, then you destroy it. So it too shatters. And now there are 2 of these things left. 1 hurt, 1 not. All right, Shalefire, you charged up to it, so we'll leave you there for movement, which leaves us to Nura. Nura, there's one that you cut the arm off of that's still dancing up and down in front of you.
I attack that one with my short sword.
Okay.
A 16.
Absolutely. So go ahead and roll your damage.
1d6 plus 3. 8.
Oh, yeah, smash. You absolutely obliterate it. Cut off its other arm, then Zorro-like cut through the rest of its body. There's very little left of it. Shaved ice for all.
I turn towards the remaining one.
Okay.
And prepare myself for the next round, basically.
Which it's now like, like looking at all of you angrily. Okay, that's going to lead us to Hart. There's 1 of these left.
I thought about healing, but I think I want to just take it out
Okay.
because I also drew a picture. I don't know if you like the artwork aspect. This is me now. This is Hart and the dragon, and it might be backwards, but that's part of the charm. It says, "Try that again and learn."
I love the dragon, by the way. That's
Thank you.
drawn perfectly. Okay, so go ahead and make your attack on this last remaining icicle.
Let's do it. I say I'm sorry, but it's got to end now. Okay. That was all I got last time. That just hits it.
And no, this is an 8. Last time you rolled a little bit higher than that. I think you rolled 11 and then you rolled 8 for damage. This time you rolled an 8 on the to hit. So sadly does not hit. I'm sorry to say, Hart.
Slip on the ice, and I'm like, "You're gonna get it now. This is the end of you." And then I slip on the ice, woo, and
Yeah.
land on my bum, and then I'm like, oh, I'm trying to scrambling on the ice, trying to get back up, trying to look cool, and I just keep slipping and makes it weirder. And I like look around hoping somebody else has got this.
Well, I think the icicle, thrown off by that amount of movement, sort of like looks at you and then turns away, not wanting. Is just like, I don't want any of that noise, and decides and goes after Shellfire, which has shattered 2 of its companions, and is going to hit again. I think with a 20, not a dirty 20, which I imagine hits. Okay.
Yeah, it hits.
All right, and is going to do a total of 5 points of damage on this one. So they hit, with a little bit of oomph there. That is the only remaining one, though. Echo, you were near the cave wall, but not
My
right
character
against
just
it.
kind of once he scratches and turns back with crazy eyes, just.
Yeah, exactly. You'll pay for that. Galantine, you were up. You were near the wall, but you have a clear shot at this last one if you want it.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead and
Been taking care of stuff diplomatically in the previous, but yet the combat is the no. I won't pay back. No, 1.16. That's a hit. 15, maybe.
Definitely a hit. Yep, absolutely. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Finally. Okay, so roll. Let's see. That'll be Dungeon Master help.
Oh, sorry. For the firebolt, I believe.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I think the firebolt is 7 to, yeah. So basically, 1d4 plus 3, I think, would be the damage for that, for the firebolt.
All right. That's a 5.
5. Okay. So it smashes into it. It is not dead, but it's quite hurt. And it kind of
partially
sizzles.
melted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Psss, ice coming off it. Okay, and that's
Basically, think RoboCop.
Yes.
When he had the
God.
acid
Do I
jump
have
removed.
to? Why do I have to? No, let's not talk about that scene.
Yes.
There's no need. Okay, we're back up to the top of the round. Shalefire, the icicle has just been hit by a firebolt from Galantine. It is very close to death, but not quite dead.
All right. This one I'll shield bash.
Okay, so go ahead with that d20 plus, what did I say? Plus 3, I think.
That's a 21 total.
Yeah, that'll hit for sure. So go ahead and roll your damage, which I think I said. I don't
Was it
remember.
D6?
I think it was d6.
5 flat.
Okay, you bash that thing into just splinters of ice. And you do that. As you do that, the ice sort of settles into the ground and nothing else seems to stir. And you are all now just standing in the cave mouth as a sort of silence settles on the area. And then you hear a and you can see Frosty/Icy sort of looking into the cave.
I'm actually not standing. I'm still sort of like trying to get up.
Oh yeah, you're on your back still.
Yeah, like kind of, when you try to get up and then you just slip again and then you start to feel embarrassed and it gets awkward. So I
Okay.
look over at Nora and I look at them and kind of look the hands like, could you help me up real quick?
I may have to
I
go.
help.
I forgot I had a meeting today.
Oh, you had a meeting today. Okay. All
I
right, Jim.
completely forgot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have.
That's okay.
joined.
It happens. It's okay. That's all right. We will continue on without you. But thank you nonetheless for joining us. Thank you so much, Silvera. Don't be a stranger. And,
I'll probably be back next time.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you back over here. All right. Let me recapture Windows quickly. It happens. It's not a big deal. Maybe I have the same. Yeah, go ahead.
I can take command of the dwarf if you like.
No, it's okay. We can go with 3. I can do 3.
All right.
I think we need to do like some tragic story change right now.
like as
While
you're there scrambling,
Nora is
you
helping
kick
me up on the ice,
right,
and
Nah.
yeah, I think we all know where this is going. And I'm like, whoop!
and then you
And all of a
accidentally stab the through the heart.
No, I don't know. No, Shellfire's not hurt, but she does get kind of bumped and slides down the hill, and it's so far down the hill because of, we'd made the fight slick,
Right.
and we're all like, and then we hear a little voice from the bottom that says, "I'm fine. Go on without me."
Okay.
And we say, "Go back to the village and find Captain Cole."
That sounds like a
Let her know
plan.
we're still trying it. We'll be
That's
back.
Yeah, you mean the dwarf? Yeah.
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 All right.
Just put a flesh wound. Yes, indeed.
All right, so the three of you that remain up here, you can now decide what you want to do. A couple of you are, well, one of the hurt people has now departed the area, so that probably won't be a problem now. But I know that Hart has still got some injury issues.
Yeah, so first I talk to the group and I say, I am so sorry that I just pushed our teammate down the mountain. I genuinely did not mean to. I am not very steady on my feet sometimes. I can be sort of clumsy. Anyway, I'm going to heal myself just to make it weirder. And so I am going to, I believe that I can do that for 7 points, which would put me back at 11.
Yes, that's right. I had you at 5, so if you're healing yourself for 7, you'd be back at up at maximum. Yeah. Okay, right, because your max is 11. Yep. All right. Okay. So that is fine. And now you are standing there. Yeah, exactly. Who is next, Hart? Yeah.
No, I'm kind of like trying to change the subject, like, because they see me like do a kind of a neat, and they're kind of impressed. It's a good heal. I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and all of a sudden my wounds are, and then I'm like trying to do that thing where you like really quick try to make it look like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so, baby dragon, we got this cave. What do you guys want to do? Hoping we just don't remember that part.
What say you, rest of the party? Where now?
Yeah, I'm a bit up in the air at the moment on that.
Mm-hmm. What is Frosty doing right now?
Frosty
that's a
seems
good
to be sort of leaning, kind of like craning their head into the cave, or sort of drawn towards the cave.
So
Well,
I was thinking,
Galantine
okay,
would-
right?
I'm sorry, say again,
I was
Hart.
watching. I was saying maybe we should go in. It seems like that's where he wants to go. Or it wants-
Yeah, very slowly, again, prepared for battle now. Slowly go in and peek around any possible corners.
And are you folks in a are you folks sort of like going 3 abreast? So like as a are you going in a line basically, first, second, third, or are you going next to each other? It is a pretty big entrance, so you could go side by side if you wish.
I'm
Well,
trying to
considering we
go
sent
across.
back Shalefire, so Galantine would probably stay close to Frosty.
Okay, and Hart, what did you say about Frosty?
I'm on the other side of
Okay.
Frosty.
So Nora taking the lead, but no, doing so cautiously, as you said.
Very cautiously, very slowly.
Okay. Anime Man, welcome. This is D&D with Viewers. Unfortunately, because we're about 2/3 of the way through, we can't bring in new people now. Normally, when we do this, we bring people in, and people are able to join up, and sometimes we get 5 people, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. We had 4, one person had to leave, but we don't have time to bring another person on, I'm afraid. But we do a lot of D&D here, and I'll be doing another D&D with Viewers in... Well, I was about to say August, and then I thought about what is going to be involved in August. It's going to be a busy month. Maybe late August, if not September. So we will do another one for sure. I would Big Boss normally, but I don't have the time to set it up. I got to make sure that we move forward, unfortunately. Okay. So, but welcome, by the way. Okay. So, as you go inside, Nora, you see just inside the cave entrance, up against the rightmost wall as you enter, there is what looks like a worn leather backpack, which is closed and just lying on the ground. You don't see any bones or anything else, just the backpack.
Oh, I slowly approach it and look from about 3 feet away
Okay,
at it.
let me have a perception check for you, please.
Perception is +3. 19.
19. It looks to you like it's been closed for a while, and it doesn't look like it's been touched or moved for long, for whatever that's worth. You don't see anything obviously around it. There's nothing moving inside it, etc.
I look at Frosty and see if it's interesting to them.
Frosty seems to want to keep moving in the cave. They're not afraid of it, but they're not paying any attention to the bag.
Okay. I approach it and slowly open it
Okay.
and peek inside.
When you open it, you see there are a few things inside. There is a package of what looks like maybe dried meat, some kind of dried jerky, possibly, that's there, which basically counts as like a ration. You can see there are also a number of sticks that are covered with pitch on the end, basically torches, 5 of them. You can see what looks like a flint and steel, and there is a pouch which jingles as you pick it up. You were familiar with that jingle, Nora.
I take the money.
So you're like,
Easy.
oh, there's torches, everyone. Here you go.
I take one of the torches and offer the others to the other people, to the
Okay.
other members of the party, but do not yet light one.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep it until I can't see anything anymore.
Okay. That sounds good. By the way, that pouch has 12 gold pieces inside it, Nora.
Well, Galantin,
Nice.
given being an elf, would probably hear it from afar anyway.
You
so-
do hear a jingling. You also are familiar with the sound of jingling that used to be near you and then no longer was, and Nora was involved with that somehow. So,
Well, is it not your lucky day, little halfling?
I just quietly whistle.
it echoes through the cave just slightly. Also, as far as that question, we ask. I would ask that people be 16 to play anime, basically. That's because you're asking about the age barrier. As far as upper age barrier, we take all 150, 500 years old, doesn't matter. Okay, so
Be like 30, like I am.
you're right. Yeah, generally, that's our demographic.
Vampires are welcome here.
Vampires welcome. Okay.
Wolves.
Or dire wolves. Okay, so the front of the cave, as I mentioned, was lit by this sunlight that was coming through the opening, leaving the sort of back of the cave in darkness. But as you're looking at this bag, Nora, and taking the stuff out, and the rest of you are looking around, you can see that there are rough chalk drawings of creatures that look like trolls dancing and working on the inside of the walls. And I would ask for history or religion, depending on what you all have respectively. If you could make a check for me for those, please.
Neither. Can I just roll a plain d20?
Yes, if you don't have either, you can just roll a d20. That's right. Yep.
I have +5 in history and I get a 14.
Okay.
Natural.
Wow. Gee, so Nora, you all know everything. Okay. You clearly know that these are referring to ice trolls, which typically live in caves and made societies like this. Although it is maybe a little bit unusual that they would draw this extensively, but it suggests that it was a pretty well-established community of trolls, which apparently have not been in this cave for a while, which might be what happens when you bring a silver dragon into the area. They tend to, trolls tend to clear out, in that circumstance.
Do I know if the trolls either can themselves or have connections to create the icicle protection guardian things that we fought?
No, that is unusual. There are, certain shamans, and that includes troll shamans, who can summon some creatures, but you have never heard of any creature like a living icicle being formed, and certainly not when there's no shaman around, and there is none. Like, there's no troll around here. So that is unusual. I should say that the Frosty has gotten very excited now in here, and is pulling forward and looking towards the back of the cave. And I think you said you lit one of them or did not lit any of them yet, Nora?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
Yet.
So do you want... Creating living icicles is a chilling prospect. Well done, Prince Justin.
Oh, it's probably
well
a
done.
lich in there somewhere.
Very ice, very ice.
I'd like I'd like to ask if mine could be lit. I don't have the
Sure.
flame.
Yeah,
But like, give me a light.
if they ask, I'll just light it for them.
Okay. So
But I
then,
don't yet light my own.
Galantin
Okay.
will just probably use her magic. His magic, I mean.
so while using both and with the torch held high / Galantine's little bit of light, you can see that there is a small passageway turning into a tunnel that slopes upward towards the center of the mountain at the back of the cave. And
Is there anything else in the cave?
you don't think so. A lot of ice, a lot of fragments, some stone. I mentioned the drawings. You saw the backpack, but no bones and no sign of anything else. There is a little bit of a bestial smell. You're not sure what that is exactly, but it could be a dragon smell. But it certainly doesn't seem to be one that's bothering Frosty.
Okay, then if the others agree, we'll just go slowly again towards the tunnel.
Others on board?
Yeah, although Galantin will probably pay attention quite more towards Frosty due to the injury that our dwarf sustained.
Okay. So,
and given the connection that they all form, but particular to Frosty,
yes,
given.
That's true, and does sort of hew somewhat. At this point, probably is hewing pretty close to all of you, because all of you have had contact or connection at some point with Frosty. But yeah. So as you move through this passage, it is cold and frosty, as you might expect. Not Frosty the dragon, but Frosty the passage. Until you reach an ice-covered wall. And as you look up from the light of your torch, you can see that the passage continues, but it continues 50 feet above, which means you presumably need to figure out how to climb the wall if you're going to get to the rest of the passage. And you can see that Frosty the dragon comes up, and like scrabbles up the wall, but like, pulls itself up on its hind leg, on the hind legs, and then slides back down. Well before they're able to fly, of course.
Can I tie my rope to an arrow and like shoot it up there?
Could possibly do that.
I actually have a climber's kit.
Oh,
I'm just trying to redeem the whole knocking a friend off the mountain thing. So like, I'm trying to now like be like, ooh, yo.
So that's true that Nora also has a climber's kit. So if that's true, that also would help.
What is
kind of
in
step
that
back
climber's
awkwardly.
kit?
Well, we should probably do that then.
So a couple things. Rope for one thing. Pitons, so like these things to basically hammer into the ice. And then there is a kind of like a hook, like a grappling hook at the end. So you've got pitons, a rope, and a grappling hook in this kit. And if you want to do this, then you can go up first, and you can get advantage on the check to climb the wall if you use that kit.
Yes. If there is something to grapple onto with a grappling hook and at the top of the thing,
yeah,
I will.
There is a oh god, here we go. Is it stalactite, the one from the ground? Stalactite is the one.
That's might.
That's might. Damn it, stalagmite. So
yeah, there is a not safe for work version of remembering that. So
it's like a billion
not going
mnemonics.
To say,
like,
but
stalagmite goes up. Okay. See, thanks,
I always
Classicor.
heard hold on tight, but if Triffid's there, I remember Triffid had one that I hadn't heard before that was actually probably easier than that. But I always heard you have to hold on tight and push with your might.
Oh, that's okay. So it's the might that we're looking for here, and there is something you can grapple. So you could throw your grappling hook up there, Nora, and then I would ask you to make either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
I have acrobatics.
Okay.
+5.
So let me have you make that check, but this is at advantage, so you're rolling twice and taking the higher result.
Okay. Roll D. 20 plus 5. A 12 and a 9.
Okay, well the 12 works. So
Okay.
you're able to pull yourself up. Not the most, graceful
Elegant.
ascent. Yeah, but you do get up there, and once you do that, it means that you can then lower the rope, which means the others can. It means that the others can go up. However, you do have to think about how to get the dragon up too.
Yeah, I do lower the rope and ignite my own torch, so I have at least a bit of light up here as well.
Okay.
And then I will think about how to get the dragon up, but let the others decide
Okay.
what they want to do as well.
Okay.
I have to think in real life as well, so.
Well,
Absolutely.
Galantin would most possibly be the tallest of us three, but the lightest maybe.
All I can think of is chaos going up ladders. And,
Yep. Yep.
I'm willing to take that approach if the dragon is, So I guess that's the question: is which of us might be better trusted? I guess we could ask the dragon. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's both kind of pat our backs and be like, want to ride on either of our backs and see what Frosty does with that.
Okay. Frosty kind of looks up and then sort of looks quizzically but doesn't back away. And so you think
We
you
could roll a dice to determine who of us would.
Yeah.
I mean, who's got more, I guess, physical strength or shoulder birth?
Certainly not guaranteed. That's for sure.
All right.
You were going to say something, Nora?
Yeah, if they get close to the top, I will just grab over the ledge and assist them getting up.
Okay.
All
So
right,
then,
I think I go first with the dragon, and
Yes.
then Galantine can, sorry, I promise I will not knock you down. I would never do that to a party member. So I kind of crouch down next to Frosty and be like,
so Frosty gets up. You're like, "Huh," it's a little heavy, and you can feel the slight chill radiating from Frosty's body. And Frosty sort of kind of holds on. I guess you kind of Galantine might help sort of put a rope around, because you can kind of hold the claws in place a little bit. I imagine Hard is sort of what you're doing. And
I can imagine Frosty will be like, those old 60s, 50s fur coats.
with the actual
the
head
animal-
of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it does do that, which means you can. I'm going to ask you to make an athletics check for me, please, Hart. And I'm going to give you advantage on this because you do have the rope benefit from Nora.
advantage means add
Which
two?
means nope. That means to roll twice, and you're going to take the higher of the two
right.
results.
Okay. Oh, let's do it.
Galantin will probably wait on the ground till you have gone up with Frosty.
Okay. So it looks
Just
like
simple in case if
15.
Frosty drops down accidentally.
you'll
or something.
catch Frosty. Cool. As
Yeah.
you're crisping. 9 or 15. Okay. The 15 is enough. You pull yourself the way up, Nora, as they get to the top. Frosty's kind of like you. The first thing you see actually is the head, like Frosty's head appear over the edge, and then a second later, Hart like kind of pulling himself up.
Yeah, I assist them getting on the ledge.
Okay, both of them are up, which means Galantine, it's just you. You actually, Galantine, don't have to make a check because you're not carrying a baby dragon with you. So with the benefit of the rope, you can just climb it without a check, actually. And so, assuming you do that,
Yeah.
Now, question: Are you leaving? Are you all once Galantine's up? Are you all leaving the rope, like tied, or taking it with you?
That's up to
I
Laura,
will.
but I do have. Just letting you know, I don't have. What was that? I
Climber's
taught
kit.
you about scapes. What were they called? Like pitons or something?
Pitons. Mm-hmm.
Pitons.
I will.
I
I
don't have
will.
any pitons, but I do have a rope.
I will take the grappling hook and rope with me because if we have to get back down here, I can just put it back as well.
Okay.
So I will
Yeah.
just take it with me again. If we need it in this spot again, I will just put it back at that time.
Okay.
All equipment is essential.
All right.
Mhm.
So, having done that, you set off, all three of you, with Frosty back down the passage, or continuing up the passage, I should say. And it winds upwards, probably another 5 or 10 minutes, continuing to move steadily upwards, until it is interrupted by a thin sheet of solid ice. And through the ice sheet, you can see that the passage continues on the other side of it. As your torchlight flickers, the ice suddenly becomes as reflective as a mirror. its surface shimmering strangely. And in those reflections, you and your companions are all silver dragons, and Frosty looks like a human toddler with silver skin.
Nanny?
There's a
I-
pause. Go ahead, Nora.
I carefully put my hand slowly near it, but do not yet touch it.
Okay.
Does something happen before I touch it?
Something does. When you put your hand close to the ice, you suddenly see this large shape appear in the ice, enormous. In fact, it is the head of a large platinum-colored dragon appears in the ice, and it begins to speak. Now, even though it is not a language that you know, somehow you intuitively, all three of you understand of it. And it says, "You are on a blessed quest, but you must speak the correct words in the correct language to enter the lair of one of my children. What 2 words correctly answer this question? What type of creature are you escorting home?" The face is very solemn, the words, ponderous and yet fully resonant. You feel the rumbling of the bass in your feet as the sound of the dragon's words die away, and the image of the dragon's head looks at you.
We talk as a group and decide. I guess I'm asking the other two. Should we decide as a group, or do we have one answer? Do we all get to answer, and some of us
Well,
will?
certainly we must decide this as a group. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
we may be facing our fate here and now.
I agree.
I mean, what first came to my mind was your child.
Yeah, but that would be counter to what the boys said. What were we carrying? What was the correct? What was it? It said the term of what?
What are we escorting?
Yes, it could be a silver dragon, but
That
I
just
believe
sounds too simple, honestly. Just silver dragon sounds too simple. Well, technically
does.
correct, but still.
I mean, it could be a friend, but I think that doesn't make sense to me as a riddle.
By the way, all three of you should make for me either, depending on what of this you have, that's your best skill that's on your sheet, either Arcana, History, or Religion check. And if you don't have any of those, then just a D20 would be fine.
15.
Okay.
On the Arcana check.
Arcana, okay.
5 on.
Okay.
Jen.
Ooh,
Well, I got a 25, so I'm
wow.
pretty
You
good.
know
Good.
completely. Yeah. Nora, you have no idea. Big dragon. Like that's what you know. Galantine.
I just look over my shoulder to see if it's in real life.
Yeah, it's like, wait,
behind
is
me
this
as
thing?
well,
Yeah,
so-
it's right behind you. Oh, no, it's not. Galantine, you know, and Hart, you absolutely know that this is unquestionably Bahamut. Bahamut is the god of the metallic colored dragons. It is obviously just an avatar of it. It's not. You better hope it's not actually Bahamut looking at you, but it is clearly an image or a phantasm or an avatar of it that is looking at you, that has asked you this question.
one of those awkward moments at a party when they're like, you know what you'd say to Bahamut, right? And you're like,
Ooh.
yeah, I do.
Right? Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so it's a dragon god. I think what I remember of dragons was basically a description of me, which is peaceful and usually like people.
I just remembered that page. Does it have anything on it that could help?
Ooh, perhaps it might. And Galatine pokes around in his bag and then
Okay.
pulls it back up and
Well,
examines it.
I can tell you what some of the words are that you've already mentioned that are on that page. There is the word for both silver and dragon on the page. There is no word for your, although there is a word for you. There is no word for child, though. And then there's other words like, sword or bag, but I don't think that's
Seems to contain words of mere common, like child and.
Is peace on there?
There is a peace
I do-
word, yes.
Yes, there is here this word for peace. What's the word for peace?
The word for peace is Martavir in Draconic.
Martavir. But what I surmise it is not that word this voice seeks.
Is it from the famous Tad, who's not very happy about me doing this, but
Hello, Tad.
Meow.
Hello, Salem Saberhagen.
all right.
All black ass to me are Salem Saberhagen from the Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show.
Okay, so we have to decide this. This is strangely intimidating. I mean, we got a baby dragon, we got a mirror, we have the god Bahamut of dragon gods. Okay, so I like the peace thing, but the question was what are we carrying?
What creature specifically are you escorting home?
Home.
So maybe
Specifically,
we just have to say the words for silver dragon in the language. Echo, I think we need to hear Echo speak Draconic, right? So what are the words for silver and dragon, just out of curiosity?
They are Orn is silver, and Darastrix is dragon.
Darastrix.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what we say?
could
What, you about to say something, Nora?
As it is potentially the most simply, and as our little halfling here says, it may not be the words that this voice is seeking. Still, what was the word again?
It was you asked for the words. Orn.
Yeah.
Orn is silver, and Darastrix is dragon.
Because we could potentially say the two words, Orn Darastrix.
I think that's
That translates
how do you feel
to
about that,
silver
Nora?
dragon.
That makes the most sense from the words that we have managed to deduce, but it feels too simple somehow. But from the things that we have managed to figure out, that makes the most sense, though.
So it was a voice that we saw. We didn't see any face or anything like.
No, you did. You saw the face of Bahamut in this mirror thing when it spoke, and it's just gazing at you solemnly.
Okay, so as we have actually been discussing this as a group, Galantin is going to be, well, due to our halfling being among us, so Galantin has gone down onto his knees, but it's going to rise up again and walk towards the face in the mirror.
Yep.
And
I'm actually.
may I impose upon you to ask something?
And it's silent. It just looks, doesn't say anything.
Did it react in any way?
No.
Raise an eyebrow or something?
No. No. Doesn't do anything.
If you are both okay with it, I'm willing to say the word, or one of you can. I think that I would like to try this.
I
It smites me.
will stand slightly next to you, behind you, in support, to the one that is willing to say it.
So I'm still there on my knees. Is that okay if I say it? I don't sound as cool as you, I admit it.
Well, Galantin is still speaking because he has. If we do not know the words you seek, we have ventured through the forest, and the creature came upon
That's right.
us. Quiet you, unless you would rather speak to. We have meant no harm at all. We wish no harm upon it at all. Only the safely return of the hatchling to his mother. If we speak two incorrect words, do we have any promise of any kind at all to not ourselves be harmed? We are merely mortals, for which you are of something I have not.
No reaction.
You have asked us the words, so. And he gallantly just stands quietly for a moment, just takes a deep breath, and it goes. The two were on Drathir, was it?
Darastrix was the second word.
Darastrix.
Orn Darastrix.
So when you speak those words, the ice mirror instantly melts and you are all splashed with icy cold water. But instead of freezing you, the water tingles as it runs down your skin and clothes and armor. It feels, if anything, energizing. And I don't believe anybody is at the moment like below hit point totals, I believe. It would be healing otherwise. But you can feel this sort of connection to it, and there's going to be a positive to that. I will let you know a little bit later. But the mirror
only thing would
cleans.
happen, at least the guarantee, this would be the torch would be, well, put out.
The water doesn't extinguish the torch. In fact, the water
Oh.
only seems to fall on your skin and clothes.
Are we still wet once it's gone?
No.
Does
It is-
something
it covers
special
it and
happen
then-
to Frosty?
Frosty feels the water and like gets this sort of and then
Happy
like
expression.
and walks forward like fast.
Well, this was certainly
This was
an
exciting.
interesting turn of events.
This was exciting. And I follow Frosty.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the skeleton is still a bit blinking and I don't know, awe-inspiring and yet at the same time quite puzzling.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't have his quarterstaff and torch, he would probably pick up his book and his black book and ink and pen right now and start
Yep.
to write.
Something fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming it sounds like all of you make your way forward.
I had knelt and my arm was like at this to get someone to help me up, but then I pretend like I was just like,
Oh.
showing off because I didn't want people to see that I was actually like a little help up here, and so I'm like, "Oh, we did that, didn't we?" And I awkwardly like get up and try not to slip, and then I follow real fast and pretend like
This was all part of the plan.
nobody saw any of that, but I just now I'm
Yes.
along with.
You were able to do that. And you can see that as you are making your way, the passage has taken all four of you, 3 plus the dragon, baby dragon, higher and higher. And eventually you come out of this passageway, and you find yourself standing atop an icy cliff, which is looking down into a huge cavern inside the mountain. There are slides made of stone and ice, which theoretically would provide a way down, but they are steep and slick. And furthermore, these slides merge and crisscross and loop around each other in a dizzying maze. They do look like they're the only way forward, but some of them end in solid ice walls. Others are covered with razor-sharp icicles. You would have to choose the best ones to get down, which would be a lot easier if you were not hearing a like a cracking sound as the cliff you were standing on is starting to collapse below your weight. You need to jump on a slide now. So what that means is that each of you plus the dragon will leap on one slide with one of you, is going to be on your own individual slide. So what I need from each of you is Yeah, go ahead, Nora.
Can I take one of the pitons from my climber's kit to basically, once I'm sliding down, to break myself a bit?
You don't think you're going to be able to break the slide. You could probably brace yourself on the slide, though.
Break, go slower.
Yeah, no, I understand. But no, I got that. But you don't think you're going to be able to slow it down, though. You will, however, be able to use it if you want to brace yourself on the slide so that you're less likely to fall off. if that's of help. But you get these
Yeah.
things are like, the pitons are sadly not designed for sled coverage, under normal circumstances. What I do need from everybody is either an investigation or a perception check, either one that you want, to decide which slide is going to reach the bottom safely. So that's the first thing.
Do both of the skills give the same result? Because I have the same. I have the same
Yes, they would. They
Okay.
would give the same result. Galantine will come back to that.
Well,
Okay, so we have a 12.
bonus. 5
Oh no,
and a crit fail.
and a 6. Oh no, wait. So wait, do I have? Okay, so wow. All right, for Nura and for Heart. Okay, Galantine, let's describe you first. As you were on this slide, the slide veers wildly to the left and right, and it is like very steep. It's all that you can do actually to kind of stay on the slide. But you manage to kind of direct yourself right around an ice wall, left around a series of these high icicle spikes. At one point, you direct yourself so that you actually make the jump, think Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, over onto the other track, right, and then back down. And you come breathless to a stop, breathless, ice and snow covering you, and I would say Frosty, who probably jumped on the slide with you, sort of at the bottom of the cavern. So you're like, great, and you look around and you're like, where's everybody else? Well, meantime, Nura and Hard have had a little bit more of a difficult situation. Nura, when you land on the slide, you are heading down, but you kind of zig when you should have zagged. And there is a point where you reach this dangerous section of razor-sharp ice slides and long drops, and specifically, there is a jump you're heading to. Now, as you're sliding down, you also see that a bunch of other slides have come down next to you, basically on other paths. So you can try to jump if you want to that other slide, or you can take the full impact of going into an icicle spike wall. Probably don't want to do that, I'm guessing.
Jump.
So make the jump. So for this, I'll take acrobatics check. As you're gonna
I do
leap
have
over.
acrobatics actually.
Okay.
Roll the 20 plus 5. A 22.
Nice. So just at the last second, this heroic leap followed by a flip. The slide smashes into the wall. A bunch of boulders fall down where the slide was, and you land on the other slide, just on the ground as you kind of go through this thing. Nura, as you're heading down, you see basically a loop-the-loop, and you sort of like with the piton hold on as you're like around, and then feeling rather nauseous, maybe from the whole experience, kind of find yourself landing on the cavern floor next to Galantine and Frosty. Frosty kind of comes over and nudges you to see if you're okay.
I just lay face down, legs and arms spread on the floor, just
but you at least
crying
made
out
it
a
down.
bit.
You at least made it down okay. Heart, though, Heart, you avoided the big icicle wall, and maybe you might have felt rather smug about that. Make a couple of jumps, and then you realize that you make a jump, and then you make another jump, and then you come to this long upwards curve, and you're like, okay, this will slow me down, which it does, and then starts to go back the other way. And so now you're sliding backwards down this same thing. As you are doing so, though, you can see that there is another slide coming on a parallel track towards a similar path. So in other words, you'll have a moment where you can try to make that jump if you to the other slide. If you don't do that, you don't know exactly where this backwards sled is going to end up.
Oh no, I gotta try it.
Okay.
So here's I know that people like to have a visual representation of events. So here's what's happening right now.
Holy Bahamut.
Yeah.
I love it.
well, I'm gonna say just think Ice Age.
Yeah, exactly.
And when our halfling arrived to Galantine, just look at the chat there. There's your perfect representation.
When Sid, yep. Okay, so Hart, I need an athletics check or acrobatics if you have either of those. You might have athletics, maybe. Okay.
That ice slide scene is my favorite of the Ice Age movies.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Hart, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that you actually do make the jump barely, The bad news is you kind of slide over the edge. You over jump it basically. So you're like holding on just barely with one arm as you're like, as you're heading down, hitting your arm rather painfully on the surface. But you don't fall off the slide. You are going to take, however, 2 points of damage, but you do not fall off entirely, which would have been very bad. And you find yourself coming to a stop in a shower of ice and snow. Your vision is covered by snow, and then something kind of brushes the snow away, and you find yourself staring at the face of a baby dragon.
I do. I look up and I kind of spun in, and then there was the poof, and then I hear like all of a sudden I see the face and I say, "I'm fine."
Well, Galtian is all excited and cheerful because he enjoyed that a lot.
When you all have a chance to kind of like touch, feel any broken bones, etc., you look up to see that you are now at the bottom of this large chamber, which is filled with both stalactites and stalagmites that are covered in ice, and the ceiling slopes up toward an ice-plugged hole that is far above you. But what you also probably notice, and maybe Galantine is the first one, but quickly thereafter the other two notice, that on the ground in the center of the chamber, there are 2 large silver eggs resting upon heaps of frozen snow. A third spot now holds nothing but broken shell pieces. A fourth spot looks like it also held an egg, but that egg is missing. And between you and the eggs stand 2 strange creatures the size of horses. They have bodies like frogs, but their skin is pure white, and they have mouths full of sharp teeth. They were moving towards the 2 remaining eggs in the nest, but as you have rather surprisingly interrupted them, they have turned towards you and hiss, and with powerful hops, these creatures hurl themselves towards you. Let's get initiative rolls, please.
Well, when you say hop,
High
would
hops.
they high hops? Would they? Well, you say they're big as a horse. I wouldn't imagine they would make much noise or make their chamber shake.
No, you don't think so. That's true. Unless they roar and do chamber destroy skill. Not that they would have that. Okay. All right.
Just a regular D20.
That would be correct. And then...
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no. Okay, so we've got a 2 from Nora, and we have got a 2 from Hart.
I have a sneaky suspicion. I know how this is gonna go.
Awkward moment.
Tremendous. A 2, a collective 2, solidarity with all of them. Please let these creatures roll a 2. It would be tremendous. No, they did not. They rolled better than that, I'm sorry to say. That really is amazing initiative. 2, 2, and 2.
Embarrassing with these frog.
Well, you just got to the bottom after like surviving a massive slide. I mean, Okay, so.
Suddenly has become Indiana Jones, but it didn't become the other way around. It's the enemy this time.
Exactly.
If I weren't so dizzy from sliding down the slides, I would have taken up my short bow. I would have taken up my short bow and ready one, but I don't think I can aim right now.
Right? Okay, they are going to be the first to go, not surprisingly, given what we just talked about. And they hop and attempt to bite you. Now, the first one they're going to aim for is going to be the one who landed first and without being face down in the snow, which happens to be Galantine, which I'm sure Galantine is delighted to hear. You'll be happy to know, though, Galantine, that a 6, I don't believe, is going to hit you, right?
No, armor class is 12.
Okay, so you dodge out of the way, but it literally, its jaws were wide, impacts the ground, and then as you sort of like dodge out of the way, it turns to you and spits out this snow and ice. And then its mouth is impossibly wide, like just, in fact, big enough to hold an egg, in fact. But you did not get hit by it. The second one is going to aim for, I think, the person who actually took a little bit of damage on that one, but is also going to miss 2 heart. This is the moment where the dodge out of the way before the thing comes down on you type of deal, because it rolled a 10, which I don't think is enough, right?
Right.
To hit your AC. So you just roll out of the way as this massive set of teeth and jaws lands on you. Does not land on you, just avoids hitting you. All right, that leads us to Nura is going to be up first here. So Nura, what do you want to do? There's 2 of these things.
How close are they?
They are probably within 15 feet of you because they are attacking you and your companions that are all right next to each other after the slide.
Okay, I will take my short bow and just shoot the one that's currently trying to attack.
Okay, you can do that. Shoot them! Shoot them!
Heart. Trying the one that's attacking heart.
Okay.
Roll d20 plus 5.
Yep.
17.
Yes, we'll hit.
Roll 1d6 plus 3 range. 8 points of range damage.
Very nice. Okay. So, you strike it, and that arrow embeds itself in the side, and it turns and
I'm going to try and get as far away as possible, but still within range of my short bow.
Okay, so kind of backing up very carefully. You can do that. It's very angry at you, Nora.
Being careful not to step on the broken slides.
Yeah. Okay, Hart, you were up next. One of these creatures has been substantially hurt, not right on the edge of death, but has been substantially hurt, and the other one has not been yet.
Yeah. But I'm still next to the one that just chomped
Yes.
the ground next to me, right?
Right, which is the one that actually was hit because Nura aimed for the one that was attacking you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna, I'm like, oh, you think I'm just sliding down the ice here? All of a sudden, I turn around with my mace and I don't even get up. I just roll over and go
Home run swing, even maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's see it. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be D20 plus. I think we got plus 5 on that one. 12 is just enough. That will hit. So you smack it. Let's see the damage that you do to it.
Home run!
Home run! And it's grand slam.
Okay. So sorry, no, I got it. And then I go for shale fire.
Bam. Okay. Not dead, but now very hurt with that damage. So it kind of like staggers back, and you kind of hit it partially in the side because it was looking towards Nora. So it's like, but it is clearly in a bad way. All right. Are you going to try to move away or stay engaged with it, connected to it there, Heart?
Heart.
I'm going to stay and keep its attention on me because I know that other people have moved range, and I have very, very long and terrible history of heal tanking.
Okay.
In gaming.
That sounds like a plan. Okay, that's going to lead us to Galantine. One very hurt creature and one fresh creature, both looking... The one that attacked you has not been hit yet and is like wide jaws in front of you.
I would imagine it would be a striking distance of melee attack.
Yes, that's true. You could also back out of the way 5 feet if you wanted to do something ranged. Or like magic stuff. I don't know, magic missile or any of those things.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to back up and do range because those impossible wide,
Yeah, they don't, they seem like they mean business.
I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean 2 Dead Man's Chest. I've seen how that turns out.
Yes. All right, so you're going to back up. Are you going to hit it with, looks like you got Firebolt or magic missile, looks like.
Oh, I don't see magic missile
under
on my
special
attacks.
ability, you actually have 2 of them. You could, you have 2 magic missiles you could use if you wish.
Oh, yes. Yes, we will be using the magic missiles.
Okay. Now, do you want to hit the same one with all 3? Or do you want to split them? Or how do you want to do it? Because you got 3 of them. So you could put 2 on one on the other. You could put all 3 into one. It's up to you.
Well, due to the circumstances of which, because I imagine when when Galantine dodged the first one, when they
Right.
turned around towards us, he splattered ice and snow all over.
Yes.
So it is an insult, and I take nothing of it. So we shall divert all the magic missiles towards that particular ice frog.
Okay. I had this image of you divert all power to weapons. Okay. All power to magic missile. Sounds good. Okay, so that means lovely thing about magic missile is that you don't have to roll to hit with these things. They just hit. And so you're only going to be rolling damage. So you are going to roll 1d4, and you're going to roll that 3 times on the fresh one in front of you.
Okay, 3 times.
3 times, that's right.
So
1.
And actually it should be +1, 1d4 +1. So that's 2
Oh, okay.
plus 3 is 5. Yep.
And next one is
3. So 8. Okay. Blam, 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 blam. Pew, pew, pew. This one goes staggering back. Looks incredibly enraged. But it has definitely been hit. What's that classic? If it bleeds, we can kill it. So Frosty is sort of hissing and kind of like waiting to see, but looks like Frosty is like really upset looking at these creatures. As we go to the top of the round, one of them is going to attack Hart, but is going to again miss terribly. That is a 6, so that misses terribly, right? Hart.
Hart just rolls the other way. And
Yeah,
just
just keeps.
misses again.
Well, no, Hart has come to one knee with the hit, so like, yeah.
I haven't stood up yet. I'm like,
Oh, you're just from your knee, really? You're just like.
I've been like
swinging
laying
from-
down.
Oh, okay, okay.
I rolled away. I fell on the thing. Remember, I took some hits. Then I rolled over, and then it was like, and then I rolled over and smacked it.
Yes.
And then I rolled back again. And I've been trying to distract it. I have not even stood up yet.
Okay, well that works then. The other one is going to step forward towards you, Galantine, but is going to get an 11. I think you said you had a 12. Is that right, Echo? An
AC.
11 on you. Did you have a 12? I think you said.
yeah, armor class.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's as well. Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry, I'm
no,
trying to
it's fine.
find some ice cover music.
It stepped forward and like slams its jaws maybe an inch from your face, like just misses your face. And you
If Gallatin had the moment, he would probably just bonk on the snout with his quarterstaff.
you're gonna get your chance. Nora, you were up next. The one that you fired at, which was near Hart, is very close to death. The other one is also badly hurt, but not close to death.
I'm just going to attack the same one again.
Okay.
Again, the one which attacks Hart.
Okay. All right, so that's again, I think, do 20 plus 5.
Ooh, crit miss.
Fire directly into the ceiling. Pew! Just the movement around it. You're trying not to hit Hart, who's rolling around back and forth too, and like, there's a lot going on there. Are you going to keep your same position, Nora, relative to the rest of them?
I will make sure that both of them are in range, but still as far away as possible.
Okay. That's going to lead us then to Hart, who comes out of a roll. You still got that
I
one
roll
above
back
you.
and I look up from the ground where I'm, sort of snowy and
Yes.
rumpled, and I say, "You tried to put my friends on ice. Time for you to croak." And then I.
Oh,
like, go,
nice. It's a good line. It's a good line.
And then I roll over.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, exactly. 1d10 heart damage. Yeah, that hits. Absolutely. Okay, and that's, I think, what are we looking at? 1d6 plus 3. 8. Wow, good line, followed by a good destructive item. I think that was the one that was badly hurt, and you just absolutely this sound, this squishing like you've hit a deflated ball or something, hits, and it literally, the force of your blow like sort of pulls it up off the ground, and then it lands heavily on its back, a tongue lolling out of its tooth-covered mouth, and lies still.
As I do that, I get up and brush. I stand up and I brush all the snow off, and I say, I look at it and I say, "That's one frog served on the rocks."
The other one turns,
Touché.
roars at your joke. "Ah!" Good stuff. Does damage in jokes. Good
So
stuff.
there's though one thing I've been wondering: what's Frosty been doing all the time?
Frosty, oh yeah, Frosty, as I mentioned, has been like straining, getting ready, like kind of waiting to see if it's going to attack. He's been clearly like agitated, but hasn't attacked yet. But Galantine, speaking of attacks, there's one remaining, and it is the one that just missed your face 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, we're gonna do a melee on that one.
Okay. Go ahead, you can do that. That is going to be a, what are we looking at here? +3 on the quarterstaff.
Okay, so D20, 1D plus 3.
That's right, 1d20 plus 3.
17, that's a big hit, baby.
That is absolutely a hit.
Also, thanks to Law for the 25 months resubscription.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yuta Deshenshi, welcome. 25 months.
And
Good to see you,
Arms
man.
muted. I think.
Sorry, it wasn't muted
Yeah.
for the stream. It was muted for them. I was distracted.
Oh, okay.
My mini Arv is grabbing paper. All right, you got what you need, bud?
Yeah, so I saw.
10 pages. Okay. Thank you, Yuta Deshenshi. Thank you so much for the resub, Law. I appreciate it, man.
Oh,
What's that?
I do love me some Japanese names, so I do love them.
And thank you, Dragon Spawn, for the gift sub to Imaginary
All aboard the
Exponent.
hype train.
Thank you. Let me grab this quickly, hon. I gotta keep going, okay? You can say hi to them just while I'm standing.
Thank you, Dragonspawn.
Hey, hope you're having a good day.
And thank you, Yui too. As
I
well.
mean, it's actually Law.
Yeah, Law, Yui too.
It's the law. The law is spoken. So we got a hype train going, everybody. All aboard the Elrond Express train.
There you go. You're welcome. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I was just stapling a craft book together for my son. Very important.
Let it be
okay.
known that what Arwen said that was he will probably have to dash out for a minute or two due to the whole window thing. That it hasn't happened at all.
That's true. It has not happened at all so far. Knock on wood. I don't want to manifest that into existence. Okay, so you hit.
That's a bit tall to be for. Yeah.
Yeah, so you did hit with that. So that should
Yeah,
be
17.
1d. So that hits, and I think that's a d6 plus something.
1d6.
1d6 straight. Just a 1d6.
4.
Okay. Yeah, you smack it, and it sort of staggers back and staggers forward, and then starts staggering towards you with its jaws, and then something, bam, slams into it from the side, and you see Frosty sort of standing over it as it kind of hits the ground. Frosty has clawed it to death, or at least finished it off. And Frosty, having finished this, sort of looks down at all of you, or looks up at all of you, I should say, and looks down at the creature, and then says, "This," like has this angry look on its face, and then sort of looks up at all of you, and crawls over to the nest with the other eggs, crawls into the broken eggshells, and falls asleep.
Would I surmise that the frog that Gallatin bonked to death, well, almost, fell forward so that Gallatin was left aside?
Yeah, so yeah, like, so you all three are sort of staring down at this thing, and then there is this massive crash from high above, and chunks of ice and snow fall around you, and then an enormous silver dragon, and if you want to know what that looks like, I'd invite you to look at what you see on your splash screen there, bursts through the frozen section of the cavern ceiling. The dragon plummets and lands before you, frigid air streaming from between sharp teeth. "What is happening here?" the dragon roars, and like the whole cavern shakes as the dragon stares at you. Does not look happy.
I put away all my weapons and try to look as non-threatening as possible.
Well,
Okay.
Galantin is trying to do that, but he can't because his quarterstaff can be also walking stick for all the dragon knows.
Okay.
So
I'm sufficiently rumpled that I don't look intimidating at all, so I don't have to worry about that. But I look up and I say, okay, we found this baby dragon who's really nice, and we gave it some berries and some nuts, and then we went on like a walk with it, and then there was like bad slides, and then little ice men, and then giant frogs attacked us, and here's your.
we are returning a dragon
I-
to you.
Then I point
I-
to that. So yes, sorry that.
Go ahead, Nora.
I just point at one of the killed frog things and say, "We've killed those. They wanted to steal your eggs."
What? And then the dragon looks over and sees, and then like goes over and with her great head lowers its mouth and then sort of picks up one of the creatures and then tosses the head with this like just and the body goes flying into the wall and just smash,
joy.
and you hear all this cracking
If-
sounds and then slides down.
If it smashes on the wall above and behind me, I just slowly move to the side so it doesn't fall onto me.
Absolutely. So there's a pause, and then she says, I see. Thank you. It appears I have been negligent. There were 2 trolls that had thought they would come to find my children, and I had to hunt them down. And then she shakes one of her wings, and a large bone just lands on the ground in the snow in front of you, and she says, This is what's left. And then kind of looks and says, But these things, I recognize them. These are egg snatchers, trained by trolls. But they will do nothing anymore. Every time she speaks, you can feel like the rush of breath. Like it's like standing in the midst of a windstorm, except it's ice, right? So it's just, coming back as if you're being spoken to by a blizzard.
I know it's a bit risky, but I will just point both at Frosty and at the one that he killed and said, Frosty killed that one.
And when you
Assisted
say that,
us.
Nora, you can see if it's possible for a dragon's expression to soften, the dragon does so, and you can see the dragon looks over and says, My little one, my wormling. He will kill many more like that before his time has come to an end. But that is many eons from now. And she turns to you and she says, The thieves, the egg thieves, had stolen one of my eggs. I still don't know entirely where they are, but at least I know the tunnel where it's taken it. And when I have rested, I will drive the mountain down around their ears to get my child back. But I am glad that you have found my other. I am grateful to you. My name is Hisiviorn. In your language, that translates to soaring silver. But you may call me Rorn. It is easier for those who are not dragons to speak my name.
Well, it is a pretty one, but I confess to bear a weakness for silver. But then colors of many aspects are wonders to me. I may say that it was upon your hatchling that came to us. We were called upon by one of the villagers to assist upon an investigation, and so we were curious, but then also taken aback by the appearance of your hatchling before us. And he knows. He may be a hatchling, but from what I can tell, he is wise beyond his years still.
Certainly proud of them.
And he, Roran, excuse me, Roran nods and says, I am proud as well, and also proud of you. There are some who would have stayed far from my lair, and some who would have sold the egg or my wormling into servitude to serve other creatures down the Sword Coast. I am grateful that your compassion overcame your greed. There are some, you know, who steal without a thought. Nora, you see her eyes kind of flicker over you for a second, but I'm sure it's just coincidence. And she says, and others perhaps who may heal when needed. And here, Hart, you feel like maybe she's looking at you at the same time, although it's not 100% clear. And some whose knowledge enhances their wisdom. And she looks at you, Galantine, and she says, but all of you, all the mortal races, if we could come together more than to be frightened of each other, we could accomplish much. Wait now. And she sort of nuzzles, she kind of like goes over to the eggs, and she kind of looks and she waits, and then she says, under normal circumstances, I would allow no one else to see this, but I think you have earned this sight. And then you see both of the remaining eggs, a crack appears in each one of them, and then the ice surrounding them flakes off, and a silver claw comes out of each of the eggshells. And you watch after a couple of minutes as like the shell is pulled apart, and you see two small silver dragons, looking very similar, by the way, to Frosty, are now there, and all of them come over to her, and the Frosty sort of stirs and says, Neitha, and looks at the three of you, and then sort of tilts its head and goes, Neitha, and then looks up at Rorn and says, Neitha, and Rorn looks down and blinks slowly and says, Yes, Wormling, I am your mother. And the little one sort of...
what...
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is... So it is mother, is it?
That is what the word Neitha means, yes.
What would the word for father be?
And she thinks about it, and she says, there is no equivalent... Oh, sorry. No voice. There is no equivalent word. In this case, it would simply be Darastrix. Among the silver dragons, it is the mother who has the highest place, as it should be. And she kind of like stretches out her wing, which is like one large wing. So for a moment you feel like the shadow falls on you, Galantine, because the light from the cavern is literally blocked out by her wing that's going over your head.
Well, would it be blocked out because Rorn is a silver dragon, so that would make him, well, her, a chromatic dragon, right?
Right, that's right. No.
Yeah. So
No, not chromatic.
Metallic.
Not chromatic.
metallic.
Yeah, chromatic are the bad ones.
Yeah, okay. It's been a while, but the metallic would still shine upon the cavern, through the chamber.
Yes, in fact, that's a good point, Galantine, because the light reflecting from the silver wings above you, yes, kind of glitters in the ice caverns for sure. And as she sort of sees that, she says, yes, in fact, there is something you should have. And she sort of like looks over, and then she digs into the snow where the eggs were set, and she pulls out carefully on one claw a small shiny diamond, and she hands one out to each of you. This is like Nora, by the way. You know that this is about as much as you could get in 3 months of redistribution of wealth, let's say. This is good stuff.
I hold it reverently.
Yeah, it's really nice. And she says, "More importantly, you have already bonded with my first hatchling. He deserves to continue to learn what it is like to grow up in the realm of people. If you wish, and if you can permit it, I would, after a month or two, allow him to come to your settlement. Perhaps he could help your village. I will watch over the area. There will be no more ice trolls to bother you." And she casually lifts up a claw to kind of like do the toothpick thing on her teeth. And then she says, "And there is one further request. When I find the other side of the tunnel into which the trolls came with my last egg, I wonder if you might help me retrieve it, so my child may be safe from whatever the ice trolls have planned for them."
To be asked of this from a dragon, a silver dragon of as yourself, I, Galantin Birkenbach, I would gladly take upon this. I have, over my many decades and centuries, well, I am of many years, of course, have endured much of dragons and of the evil kind and so forth, but this is the first time that I have endured and experienced a most kindful one. You may say no more, for I am with to the brilliant.
And Roran nods and looks to the other two of you.
Oh, go ahead.
I will just bow slightly towards Roran and say, I would be honored to take care and just take care of your child once you deem it old enough to help us assist in the town.
Okay, and then looks to you, Hart.
I look at all of the babies very kindly, and then look at the mother and say, I, Hart, would be honored to help. Say, in our communities, we choose our families, sometimes by egg and sometimes by finding each other in snowy, broken hallways filled with murder frogs and tiny icemen. And I would be honored. You may visit us in the village anytime, and I would also be honored. We will not rest. I will take care of your quest as well as I have taken care of my team here today. I vow it.
And she nods and she says, "Very well. In the back of my cavern, there is a passage which will lead to the side of the mountain. From there, a winding path will lead you back to your village. Thank you for your aid." And I think what we see as you prepare to make your way out of the cavern is Frosty coming over to nuzzle each one of you. And then probably last of all, the sight of a dwarf trudging through the snow towards a very agitated looking captain who's saying, "Well, where did the others go?" And that is where I think we will bring our session to a close.
Before we wrap up for a close, just as we were about to leave, Galantin turns around and walks back and goes, "I am curious though of one more thing before we depart. we had no knowledge of the name of your wormling, of your hatchling. So what is it? Well, what is his name? Her name?
And there is sort of a pause, and then she says, "In my tongue, it is Kostgix.
Kostgix.
In yours, it translates to small claw." And Kostgix, otherwise known as Frosty, sort of like hiss whimpers at you.
I just scratch him under the chin.
Yeah, loves that. Absolutely.
Doing the one on top, this one.
And it, yeah.
At the same time.
We're all giving
Yes, exactly.
riches.
Gallatin kneels down one knee and actually gives him a big hug.
I think
And-
we'll take that. Yep.
Instead of, well, having heard what the mother calls him or her, he says, what's the word for claw again?
I believe claw was Gix. Yeah, Gix.
For me, little one, it will always be known as Orn Dix.
And
Overclaw.
Be well and take care of your mother.
the little one nuzzles you again, and that brings us to a close. Good work, everybody. What fun stuff. First, I will say thank you again to Silvera. I want to get the last name again because Silvera. Wait a second. Scrolling. Silvera Draconis. There we go. Thank you, Silvera Draconis, who I know had to leave because of a meeting they had forgotten about. But thank you for joining us and for
Which
playing
kind of is a
Shaleheart
very,
Stormlight.
I don't know, coincidental considering Silver Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out as it sort of did. But yes. But thank you, the other three of you who are still here. Echo, I will start with you. I'm glad we ended when we did because I have to wrap up pretty quickly now because I got to get over to GOG. But how did you feel about our little D&D viewer session, and where will the folks find you next?
Well, I had a blast. I didn't expect I would love actually playing this character as much as I did. Probably second to Shakunas, I have
Nice.
to say. Well, being said, I didn't get to do much with my half-elf monk anyway, so... But yeah, it was fun. And I was actually hoping to play a half-orc paladin, one of the pre-generated characters, but this was fun. And I could see myself coming back to this and actually continuing it if there is a sequel or something. I would be up for that. I would.
Same here.
Yeah, the rescue the justice for the last egg, sequel type of thing.
Beyond that, I know I really have to wrap up really quick, so I'll probably be brief as possible, I can guarantee it. But loved it, enjoyed it, and I have to give big props to our to the Arbot Master Effect Live for his first performance on live stream, webcam.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
Beyond that, you can find me. Well, I have a co-op streams ongoing right now on Babylon Soul's channel, featuring me and him doing Fallout Tactics on Sundays at let's see, on Eastern Daylight Time. That would be around 8 a.m.
Good.
So it's going to be at 2 in the afternoon for me, my time. Beyond that, you'll probably find me next on GOG.com where we'll be watching the Ghost of Saltmarsh.
That's right.
And after that, or probably middle of it too, at Bittermans, because I'm moderating over there. So I am here, there, and everywhere on Twitch.
Thank you, Echo. Good stuff as always. And moving right on up the line, Emily, thank you for stepping in and multitasking with the soup. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna not because I hadn't eaten actually, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna go all day. You wouldn't want to see the.
Yes. Well, I was glad you were able to play though, because not just in general, but also because this was dragon themed. I had a feeling it might connect with some work that you may have done in the past relating to dragon stuff.
Dragon Mamas, yeah.
And Dragon Mamas, etc. So same question. How did you feel? So thank you. Good work today. How did you feel about the session? Where would the lovely folks find you next?
Well, I say this to the players and also to chat that I think most people here know that my favorite thing in the world is games with friends. So I couldn't be happier. And that includes all of you in chat. You know that. And also, finding me is pretty easy. Just all my links are at edebell.com. You can click all the cute little icons and find me places, you know, where I'm moody on the internet. And then also, I will be here next week, right? Like,
That's right.
you know, they're Emily Tuesdays now. How's that? Just for 2 weeks. It's okay. And I'm not going to take the time here for obvious reasons, but I will throw it in the Discord. Seriously, don't sleep on this thing that's going to be premiering next week. The Sauciverse is a collective of African writers writing African-centric stories in a space world. It's unbelievably cool. I'll put a link later. And we are publishing the first novella in that world. And Cheryl S. Ntumi will be here, normally from Ghana, but is actually in Botswana now, which moves the time zone 2 hours over. So don't miss that thing next week. Not only for, you know, Emily the Invincible and the Wizard Arvin Elrond, but also for LaShawn Wannick will be there and Cheryl S. Ntumi. And the covers are 6 covers. 6 covers. And also, you'll see me at Gen Con playing D&D with, you know, extremely cool writers. So if you haven't got your tickets for that and you're going to be at Gen Con, you got to go in there. And
That's right.
Shipping. The tickets are shipping in 3 days is your deadline, so get in there. And not trying to be bossy, it just comes out sometimes. And then, because of your help, including Affect Life here on screen, I don't have to cancel my trip. I'm so happy. You know, I put out a call, can somebody give me $15,000? And the world was like, oh, okay, Emily. And I cannot express my gratitude for that enough. I really, really can't. But it means I'm going to be in Scotland and London. And I'm going to be carrying with me hugs for everyone. So, like, if you want one, I mean, you know, consent. If you want a hug, I'll be walking around like Hug Santa. Be like, get over here. So, hugging Europeans, it'll be great.
Okay, so do a little PSA for Emily there. Come on down to Scotland, have a big hug with little Emily in Wolstead. We're a bit of two. I'd buy a book or two.
Yeah, he'll be there too.
Yes.
He'll be there too, and he's
Read that around with this with the bottom. There are 2 are the connecting parts of the Arabs.
And we'll find out if Greg and I are on programming soon. Hopefully that.
I know it would be nice if they they could.
I filled out all my forms.
Pick
and
that
I
up
filled
a
out
bit.
another time and
Yeah.
Put me out. Hopefully, well. Yes, I was actually on. It's funny. I'll just say the theme of this. I was actually on one Nebula panel. It was a middle grade panel on dragons, but I think I did okay with that. But maybe it'll even be something more relevant at Worldcon. We'll find out. Okay. And it was such a pleasure to play with all 3 of you, of course, and all 4 of you, except for the guy that I bumped down the hill. But we don't need to talk about that.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yep.
You are back. Hold on a second. Make sure I
Okay.
move things around. Hold on. There we go. Now we're all back. Good stuff, Emily. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Effect Life. Yeah, congratulations, Effect Life. Wonderful. You know, seriously, great job for first session of D&D. Great job in general, but I mean, you know, especially first session in D&D and on stream and all that. So great work. You did not, in fact, get taken out despite playing a roguish style character. How'd you feel about today playing for your first time, and where will the lovely folks find you next?
I really, really enjoyed this. I was a bit nervous because it was the first time that I'm on stream, especially with a camera. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Very fun crew, all 4 of you, including forgot his name.
Severa Draconis.
Severa, yes,
Yeah.
him. Whenever there's another D&D stream at my time, at this time slot, I will probably be there. So yeah. Where can you find me next? Usually on Tuesdays in chat. I also am in chat on the GOG stream, but I'm a bit more quiet on there usually. Otherwise, occasionally in Darksaber's streams in chat as well. So that's it.
That's good stuff. And yeah, go
I
ahead.
really enjoyed this.
I'm glad.
I really enjoyed this today.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad you were able to play with us. I'm glad we did one that was European time friendly. Yeah, thank you very much again for all the assistance with ArvBot as well, and for playing with us today. It was a really good time. Chat, can we get some love for the awesome D&D with Viewers crew, which included Silvera Draconis, who's now gone, but not gone, Echo Alpha X5, and Emily the Invincible, and Effect Life. Thank you, players. Thank you so much, and I will see you folks down there.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Toodle beep.
Lovely. All right. We did it. We did ourselves some D&D with Viewers. Good stuff, everyone. Really enjoyed that as always. Playing D&D is always a good time. Well, I've got to get myself ready like right now because in about 45 minutes, we are going to be up on GOG.com and playing, as was mentioned, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. But for the first time, and actually, wait a minute. Let me just confirm for just a second. Okay, so it looks like we're still on. Just double checking, just making sure. So it looks like we are still on to play today, so that will be good. Books that have many small adventures in this. Well, so this one, by the way, is written by Sean Merwin, who's a very good writer and actually contributed to my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library, writes a couple of the books that show up in that library. So there are some sort of one-page or very short encounters. This adventure I just played is actually free, and it's played as a kind of introductory adventure even for younger people. But I liked it mostly because the time frame was controllable, so that was great. But as far as a collection of them were concerned, not ones that are that short, but I can recommend a couple of things. One would be the Candlekeep Mysteries has a series of shorter adventures. There's also Tales from the Radiant Citadel, I believe it is, which is really neat because it has multiple different adventures and also is written by a very diverse cast of authors, a diverse group of authors. So that's really good as well that I can recommend. There are also a number of collections of smaller adventures, some by an organization called the Arcane Library, which is another one that I would suggest. And then there are a series of one-page, this was not one page, this was longer than that, but the sort of one-page adventures, one of which I know that you played. And that one, I don't know where I found that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure where it was, but you can do a search for that and find them. So there are a number of these that are available. The DM's Guild and or Drive-Thru RPG has a lot of these things. Yeah, there's a Drive-Thru RPG. There are a bunch of them that you can find on Drive-Thru RPG, but the reason that I'm not thinking of them is because I have found a bunch of them by going online, by getting them from Drive-Thru RPG, by looking at the Arcane Library, by, so I get them from a whole bunch of different sources and not from one book. That's why I can't recommend one in specific for you, except to say some of the ones that I mentioned. There is also a book of Eberron adventures that I think Rich Lescouflair did that are short adventures or encounters as well. Those are PDFs, mostly physical books. Yeah. So I would need to look into that. Not on the physical book level. I know they exist, but I don't know the names off the top of my head, Echo, to be honest with you. If I see them, I will let you know, however. But anyway, so good time today. I really enjoyed it. And thank you, chat, for being with us. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I am going to be, again, 4:15 p.m. Eastern, playing over on GOG.com's Twitch channel with the premiere of By the Dice Roll, playing an adventure, which is the same adventure, but it's with the premiere of our new actual play group, By the Dice Roll. That will include Wholesome Horror Gaming, also known as Mike Smith. It will include Pyron Jade. It will include Darksaber 2K. It will include Ananda, and it will include, although what character will they play? Undeveloped Bruce is going to be joining us as well. So all of that crew is going to be with me for this opening salvo of the By the Dice Roll plays. You should definitely stop by GOG.com's Twitch channel for that. And then remember, tonight, back here at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be back here for the Arvocalist playing the Banner Saga 3. If you liked what you saw and heard today, please follow the channel. Check out our YouTube with !ArvTube. Discord is !ArvCord. Twitter is !ArvTweets. Blue Sky, !ArvSky. Website, arvanelleron.com. Financially, !ArvShop is the merchandise area. !ArvTreon is the Patreon sitting right there. That really makes a difference. All those who subscribe today, thank you so much for the subs and for the gift subs. I really do appreciate those. That also, if you subscribe at a high enough tier, can also give you inspirations to help the players. Plus, you can get those custom sub badges and emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. On the publishing side, !Icarus. That's my graphic novel. Endless Quest. Well, yeah, those are more like, as you say though, those are more like the kind of choose your own adventure style though, live suing, as opposed to like sort of short D&D-ish, like using the mechanics adventures. But you're right, I actually have a couple of Endless Quest books now that I think of it. Where was I? Yes, so exclamation point Icarus, that's my graphic novel from Athos Arts. Exclamation point Library, that's my Tales and Tomes, The Forbidden Library. That's my 5e Adventure and Sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And exclamation point Greyshade. Yeah, I love both of those. I have Tunnels and Trolls right down there, actually. Right down there. You can see it blurred. Exclamation point Greyshade is my Greyshade IP. The Grey Assassin Trilogy, Greyshade and Renegade are out now. You can get those right now. You can also get the audiobook of Greyshade by our very own Trent Sparks. All of those from Athos Arts at that link. You can pre-order the tabletop role-playing game of Greyshade being done by Brandon O'Brien. That'll be coming out from Alligator Alley, and that'll be out at the end of the year. And you can also pre-order the final book in the Grey Assassin Trilogy, Heretic, which will be out next month. There will be a cover reveal for that, as Emily is mentioned, next week, alongside several other covers that are releasing for various Athos books. That's going to be super cool. Right here on this channel next Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern. And then there'll be a special reading event from BlackRock Books in Bridgeport. If you were in the Southern Connecticut area, would love to see any or all of you there. And that'll be happening next month in July. So Heretic is coming up, and then Greyshade, Renegade, and Heretic will be there together. And if you want to see the cover, you can do so a little bit 1 week from today. And as always, exclamation point BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Exclamation point Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And exclamation point Ukraine, UKRAINE, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage, and send the message we will do so for others in this situation in the future. Thank you to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Dragon Spear. Thank you to Emily again for playing as well. Thank you to Prince Justin. Thank you to Triffany Metz. Thank you to Yudo Descensi for the resub as well. Thank you so much for being the best mods in the business. And thank you to my wonderful subscribers and supporters, Dragon, Emily, Prince Justin, Triffany Metz, Yuto. Thank you to Echo Alpha again for playing as well. Thank you to Effect Life again for playing as well. Thank you to Ballsteg, to Dragon Spawn. Thanks for the gift sub as well, Dragon Spawn. Thank you to Imaginary Exponent. Of course, to Live Suing for all the shorts, etc. And thank you to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Ashlix, to Betrader, Big Boss. Thank you to Dread Charybdis. Thank you to Genly. What's up, Genly? Thank you to Harley Quinn. Thank you to Jagtris. Thank you to Nonstop. Thank you to Sparky Pilot. And thank you to Yadisek. And thank you as well to Silvera. Again, that was Silvera Draconis. Thank you to Silvera Draconis again for playing with us. And thank all of you in chat for being here. I will see you folks at 15 minutes after the hour, 4:15 p.m. Eastern, for more of the awesome Ghosts of Saltmarsh with By the Dice Roll. Can they escape this ship as it is destroyed by some massive creature? We will find out. Otherwise, I'll see you folks back here, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the Our Vocalists with some awesome Banner Saga 3 play. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other. I'll see you over at GOG in a bit, and bye for now. Everyone be good to each other. Have a good afternoon.